This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Ooh, good evening, 7 o'clock Tuesday night. It is The Show, like it or not, with Clayton McKee alongside Katie June, Al Perkins, and somewhere between her place and Studio C, Marnie Ryer is in a little gray Subaru, lesbianing her way through the city.
Powering on.
She texted me and she said, if every light were green, I'd be on time. Well, rarely are they ever.
Rarely. Especially when you put it out there.
Yes. Please
the
make all lights
universe
green.
conspires against
What's
it.
that line from Stranger the Candies? If wishes and butts were boxes of nuts, we'd all have a bowl of granola.
Okay, I don't know. It's really surprised you remember that.
Anything Stephen Colbert did on Stranger the Candy was worth remembering.
I actually need to go back and see some of those because I know you've shown me some and I know some are very, very funny, but just Colbert himself and then Sedaris, she's hilarious.
Oh, right. So in the two they wrote, starred, directed.
It's
all them with Paul
they're
Danello.
funny.
All of that.
Fucking funny.
Yes. No, but that's not anything I have to own HBO to see, is it?
No.
Oddly. Wow, we found something.
Comedy Central's one big misstep, and they still admit to it that they canceled it. They just didn't know what to. They didn't know what to do with it. They were still trying to work on the brand, and
so many other shows have come along that have been like, not to compare those two, but like Family Guy was another one. It was on, and then Fox canceled it, and everybody freaked out. They came back, and now that and American Dad and some of the other things that he's done have just blown up. And
American Family was how funny the DVDs were, and I missed it the first.
I was never I didn't watch American Dad, really, or the Family Guy very much for that matter.
I had never seen it, and then one Thanksgiving, Matt Pruitt that lived with me, he brought him one Thanksgiving, into one of those days where you're kind of like sitting around waiting for dinner to cook, and he popped one in, and we watched like a season and a half. Like we ate dinner while we watched it because it was so goddamn funny.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I'm like, all right, when did we watch the show? They're like, oh no, it got canceled. I'm like, why would they cancel this?
I hate that.
One of my favorite characters on American Dad is I say it's the alien Roger that lives with him. That's like Paul Lynn. I love Roger because he always does costumes and he goes out in public and nobody realizes he's an alien. And he does everything. He does stupid shit. It just funny. I think it's a very funny show.
And at the time, Scrubs and Family Guy are basically the same show with like really random flashbacks, flash forwards, flash
Scrubs,
sideways.
I got on board with Scrubs a little bit.
Yeah, and
Scrubs.
It was the same kind of thing of like just non sequitur humor where they just went somewhere and like flew off on a tangent or had a themed episode, and like I was like, this is very similar. And my voice sounds very strange today.
Well, if you pull the mic a little closer to you, because you're echoing because you're far away from the mic like this.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
There, so you get up on it.
It's got a clarity that makes me want to wish I was Linda Ronstadt here.
Well,
mine has a little bit of a raspiness today as well.
Oh.
And I would always appreciate a little rasp.
I do too. It's the Brenda Vaccaro factor in the show.
Ooh, I saw her in a terrible, terrible movie of all things.
Was there ever a good one?
I don't actually know who that is. So can you guys catch me up?
Google Brenda Vaccaro.
I want to say Oscar nominee for something.
For Tampax?
No. But she would do her tampon commercials and go, and take this ragged breath like her tampon hurt. And
I don't know that they don't. I can't.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't tell you if that's.
I've never gotten the applicator all the way in.
Just the tip, ma'am. Just the tip.
Oh my God! I don't want to stand by that Oscar nomination, but
hold on, we're coming up here.
Oh, I'm sure we are.
Have an Oscar nomination.
I couldn't.
I'm IMDbing her.
I don't know.
It just doesn't say like right off the top. Oh wait, nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, okay. For does it say?
Let me take a look.
Because we might as well go right into that. Top of this.
I know, right? Just entertainment and nothing more. Let's see. She was nominated for Once Is Not Enough in 1975.
Oh, a terrible, terrible movie based on a Jacqueline Suzanne novel. I don't remember her being in that.
She was nominated for a horrible, horrible Saturn Award, which is all science fiction. She was nominated for multiple Golden Globes as well, for Midnight Cowboy, Where It's At, and Once Is Not Enough.
Well, anyway, she's in a terrible movie that I can, I like to see. Well, James Franco is my new favorite thing, to see all of his movies and try to place this gay rumor, like try to put besides him starting it and perpetuating it, like
to get a career,
perpetuating it. Yes.
So I saw this movie Sunny this week on Netflix.
S-O or S-U?
Sonny,
Okay.
about a male prostitute. So I assumed it was a gay male prostitute, and maybe that's where the rumor started. Because this movie's like right after he did the James Dean thing that got him on the map after Freaks and Geeks. Oh my God, it was horrible. And then like three quarters away from the movie, there was like this blurry scene where he's talking to this weird pimp, and he's all fucked up, and all of a sudden you get this POV from him of like that. I don't need a blurry screen to know that you're drunk.
Yeah.
Like, stop, Steven Spielberg.
I know you hate that about him.
I love it.
Feel this way. No,
Yeah,
feel this
feel this
way.
way.
So funny.
I know
I'm
you
not
hate
sure
that.
you know that my character is drunk, so I'm going to make the screen a little
Understand
blurry.
exactly
maybe
what's
moving,
happening right
maybe-
now.
Yeah.
Are we on a
So-
ship? I don't understand. Why is everything...
And all of a sudden, I like squinted my eyes to match the blurriness. I'm like, that's fucking Nicolas Cage. So then the movie ends, and it was truly
I don't
terrible.
have any need for
It
him
was
either.
Nicolas Cage's
Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas Cage's directorial debut. It was terrible. Do not see this movie.
Okay.
There's a reason why it got like a 1.5, but it was really bad. But Brenda Vaccaro has like a big role in it, and I'm like, what the fuck is she doing
You know what's
here?
interesting is, and I think I only know that name because I like the voice, because the voice reminded me.
The voice is fantastic.
Is it Kathleen Turner that also has the
Yeah.
raspy voice?
Yeah.
So I always liked the voice, because even as a youngster growing up in the radio, I always remember hearing, voice. B. Arthur was another one. Several, voices that you recognize. I don't remember her as being an actress. I only remember those fucking commercials.
Yeah, and she was like that B movie queen. She was in all those
She would have been on Love
70s
Boat
disaster
and-
movies, probably multiple
Boat,
Love Boat,
Fantasy Island.
Yeah. But God bless her, she was still working as of
film.
2003. I always say make fun of Suzanne Summers all you want to,
Right, no,
but she
she's-
still has a career.
Right, just like Joan Rivers, like she's fucking
Yeah.
still working at 90, whatever she is.
Love Joan.
But does the IMDb on Brenda Vaccaro say anything about? Is she still alive?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she's living.
Yeah,
Got
because we did something about her like last year. There was something else came up because we were doing.
don't
I
recall.
think we had to explain who it was to.
Toxic shock syndrome, was that the one? Something about that. Was that the 80s? Wasn't that the 80s?
That is
Toxic
really
shock is like the
horrible.
early 80s.
Yeah.
It's called cold shock
But
instead of hot shock.
Toxic
yeah.
shock,
Very dangerous.
though, still really alive and kicking. I mean, I don't know that it actually is, but on all of the disclaimers and warning,
right.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's still like a big problem.
Toxic shock didn't go away. It's cold sepsis. It's when your body goes cold
I thought I had that a
instead
couple
of a
weeks
hot
ago.
fever. Oh, you'd know because you'd be dead. It's
I
almost
said to
always
Kelly,
fatal.
I think I have this, and she's like, I don't know what to say to you.
Are we learning something else aside from every other diet? Do you have everything? Are you a hypochondriac?
Mostly.
Are
Oh,
you really?
Sweetie, go to nursing school. Swear to God, every week I had a new disease. I was like, oh my God, I have that. I would go like list by list and everything.
Oh, it is actually.
I have suffered from every single disease, and like last week I
It's
had
really
meningitis.
proven. Oh yeah, no. In college, I thought for sure I saw a 2020 special, and I lived in a dorm, and done. It was. I had it. My grandfather signed us up when signed my parents up for the Mayo Clinic. We had the dictionary, which was bad enough, but then we got every month a new newsletter, and it was an insert that you put into this gigantic Mayo binder. And you
right.
got to it was massive.
Sure.
And so
Every
it was
disease
the
known to
most
man.
exciting piece of literature that came in the mail once a month to us, and I read it cover to cover, and every month I had something new.
Self-diagnosed. Yeah.
One time I literally
WebMD. It's now called WebMD, I think.
I cried hysterically that my dad didn't believe that I was dying of appendicitis right now, Dad, right now.
Wow. Somebody
my
needed
left
I
attention.
think I didn't even had it on the wrong side,
On the left side.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Oh, my heart hurts. My heart
Harder.
hurts.
Yeah.
yeah.
See, I'm in the mirror. It's this way. I thought I had anorexia, and then I saw a mirror.
Oh, cured.
Kieran.
Beating anorexia.
That's not what it is. That's not what it was.
New diagnosis.
What is it now? Obesity? That's what mine is. That's what mine is. Getting there. One Whopper at a time.
Oh,
exactly.
thank you. Yeah, my diet this week, and I felt really no,
A new one?
not a real diet.
Okay,
it was the
got it.
Disneyland diet.
What's that? What's
It's
that?
consists of almost exclusively corn dogs, churros, and Disneyland popcorn. Because I swear to God, they sprinkle crack on top of
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
It doesn't taste
You-
like normal popcorn.
Of course they
It
do.
is so much better.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's
And I have to tell you that the Disneyland churro seriously is the greatest thing that's ever been in my mouth. Like that is,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm a,
and he's had a lot in his mouth.
I'm a churro, clearly. A churro aficionado, if
That
you
wasn't
will.
I wasn't referring to, but you go
not
ahead.
where I went either.
Yeah, okay,
Churro
thanks, Katie.
enthusiast.
Unintentional. Sorry.
And I have to tell you, that crack that they have, that they
Yes.
sprinkle on the churros at Disneyland, makes me want to date a princess. There is something in that shit.
You just want her
good.
wardrobe. I know
It
what
is
you want.
really
Their
good.
you're right.
Coca-Cola tastes better. Their ice cream
would you like me to
is
explain
dryers.
that? Would you like me to explain
Yeah,
that? Okay.
yes.
Do you? And I actually found this out from a Coca-Cola employee. Oddly, gay man used to live here in Phoenix. I said the same thing, and I said it in regards to McDonald's. Because if you'll notice, McDonald's
literally
soda
tastes better. It's the
always
best
better.
Coke.
Exactly
It's
why.
the best Coke.
Because of the temperature at which it's dispensed. The machines are made. Soft drinks are made to be dispensed at like 32 degrees.
Okay.
The coldest. They are the best when they are just shot out of the cannon.
Ah.
So McDonald's does that to every machine. Like that's why Coca-Cola.
No, they calibrate the
comes in-
temperatures
well, they
and-
calibrate. They do. They make sure all of their stuff comes out that exact temperature because the first few sips of that beverage, that's what hooks you. That's what gets you. And I'm sure that Disney does exactly the same thing.
Because it tastes like McDonald's Coke. It really does. Their Coke
so
tastes
they
like
have,
McDonald's.
and because you don't see a Sam's beverage trucks outside of McDonald's, you see Coke trucks.
Oh, yeah.
and they come and they service all their equipment. So they doing the same thing at Disney because Disney
And I
didn't
don't know,
screw
Coke
around.
does like Taco Bell, KFC, and there's another one, Pizza Hut. They're Pepsi food.
God,
Right,
awful.
they're all
I,
Pepsi.
I
They're all
can't eat
Pepsi.
there because they don't have Coke, and I'm not joking. Like I
Yeah.
can't.
Oh, I can, but I actually am the
just
person.
hate Pepsi.
I'm the person that I'm not. This isn't going to really surprise anybody. I'm the one who actually gets something from somewhere, be it the KFC or the Taco Bell or whatever, and then I taste it. And I decide if the calibration's wrong, and I email customer service and I give them the store number. I tell them what time I went, and I tell them what the beverage was, and I tell them they need to go calibrate it because for the longest time,
I used to know how to do that when I worked for Taco Bell. I could calibrate the soda machines.
the longest time they had the one at McDowell and 3rd right here in town in
Yeah.
Phoenix. Their raspberry tea was just syrup. There was no anything else. I'm like, please, dear God, fix this.
Yeah, and I hate it when the Coke comes out when you're somewhere
These
and
are
it's
white
too
people
syrupy.
problems,
Really-
apparently.
I was just
they
thinking
really
the same
are.
thing.
Yeah, when we are like pissed off about the taste, syrupiness, fuzziness, or the temperature of a
Yeah.
soda
Meanwhile,
fountain
some
beverage.
countries can't even get water that's digestible at all.
And we put like rust remover in ours and enjoy it.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't drink. Like I've never drank. Good morning.
Hi,
I
Mark.
never drank soda. Like my whole life, I've never really liked it. I went through like a 2 years with orange soda where I thought it was kind of good with cheese popcorn, and then I lost it.
Colors
So I
were
didn't
similar.
I didn't know it was a difference. Like I just thought it was like Kleenex and generic Kleenex. I
Oh,
didn't know
like
that
Coke
people-
and Pepsi?
Yeah, I didn't know people took it seriously.
No, it's
so when
real
when I
serious.
went to work for Taco Bell and people were like, "Oh, you want a Coke with that?" And everyone's like, "It's not Coke," and I'm like, well, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, no, it's a
Oh
branding.
my God. And then people were like all mad about what we had. I'm like, shut the fuck
You know
up.
what used to be the worst?
And then we're
really
at the bar,
pissed
people
me
were
off.
like, what do you mix it with? I'm like, brown stuff. It's the liquor
No.
you're here for.
The really pissed me off was fucking Arby's with their RC Cola. That's really the worst. And I don't know if they still do, but when I was growing up, there was an Arby's near the house that I would walk to all the time, and that was kind of like my fast food joint. RC. And I thought RC was okay, and I kind of thought it was cool that I drank the different thing until I really got on board with Coca-Cola. And then I was just pissed at Arby's.
You know what I always remember?
Damn you, Arby's.
What I always kind of remembered in my adult life about RC is that it's Crown Royal backwards.
Okay.
yeah.
So
it's
I've
real.
always
Been a fan.
And why is that stuck in my head? Like I knew what RC stood for, but I've never actually
Royal Crown.
I've never actually had it
Royal
in my mouth.
Crown.
I actually had no idea that it meant Royal Crown.
RC was Royal Crown.
Okay.
Right. That's exactly what it is.
Is it even still exist?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Google it, Mark. God damn it.
Gosh.
Google it.
I know
Katie.
I've been
What's
out
that?
of the
RC.
RC,
and
I know it's
they,
still around.
Oh, I think-
they do like 7-Up. They're
Yeah,
RC
and I
bottling
think one of the
company.
few
Pepsi
sodas I ever liked was because there's a company in Western New York called Johnny Ryan that was like a local soda manufacturer, and the original Johnny Ryan was like 7-Up. Like you could get cola flavored and all that stuff, but they were really pushing 7-Up.
No, here's actually the worst thing about RC. It makes me hate them even more. Is that not only do they don't have 7-Up, they have something called Upper 10. Thanks, assholes.
Oh, but I don't think it used to be
Lost
called
another
that.
sponsor.
I think it was called Royal Crown Lemon Lime or something like that.
But they were they were like the bastard stepchild of all the other big
Oh,
ones
they
because
suck.
they were trying to
They
come out with their
do.
own stuff.
But I think they
Absolutely.
were like Johnny Ryan, where they started off somewhere locally and then got just a little big, and then
They
everybody
could've.
shut them down.
They very well could have. I don't recall. I
but
know that
anyway.
Johnny Ryan orange soda though, that and the actual Johnny Ryan, which was like a lemon limey zesty thing, like that was my brief like 1.5, 2 years of soda where I actually thought that.
you could do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Fanta, orange Fanta.
Fanta, grape knee-high was another one. Knee-high was an entire line.
Sure.
Gosh, there's all kinds of sodas.
Knee-high, what the fuck is that?
Don't you remember
Sunkist was the other one.
Well, Sunkist Orange was also
Oh, I remember Sunkist
But don't
Orange.
you remember on MASH, Ray O'Reilly always drank grape knee-high. He never drank
that's
liquor.
right.
He always drank grape knee-high. Knee-high was a brand name.
Oh my god.
And that must have been obviously a sponsor.
Of what?
you think?
Of MASH?
Yeah.
No, it was just of the era because
I'm
of the
sorry.
Korean War.
Okay,
And
sure.
the whole era of when it was, yeah. Now,
And somebody says, "Who remembers Tab?" I remember Tab.
Tab, of course.
yeah.
They still make Tab.
They still make Tab. Whatever
And
happened,
some
it
people
came back.
carry only Tab in their fridge. And my friend Nicole's mom only had Tab, and like we always had Coke. We had Coke and Pepsi. We were a house divided because my dad only. Really,
I like how we're gonna go Shakespearean with this.
yeah. No, my dad liked Pepsi, and we liked Coke, and so we would.
we were
we
a
had both.
house divided.
And then I'd go to my friend Nicole's house where I spent a lot of my time, and her mom only had Tab, and I was always so disappointed. You know,
By the way,
again, really privileged
yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
I went to go play at her house, and she had crappy soda. Anyway.
By the way, for those of you who are wondering about Al's abbreviations, DOC means drink of choice, in case you're wondering, in the chat room. By the way, you can join us in the chat room. Just go to qtalkamerica.com/chat. You will find us, or just go to the website, find the bar at the top, enter chat. You can go from there. We don't take calls because we really don't have time for you people to call in. I would, however, like to say hello. We've got people in Canada, the U.S., and Bahrain listening. I don't think we've ever had that.
No, we have not.
So I'm looking
Not
forward
Bahrain.
to other people
You were
joining in.
referring to Bahrain, not Canada, correct?
Yes, very much so, very much so. Well, we really got off on a soda and or pop, depending on where
really
you're
did,
from
yeah.
in the country.
Yeah.
Talk. We
Pop.
have not really hasn't been much of a what you've been up to things, but we'll briefly
Oh,
do
and
that.
everybody, because when I moved out here, I switched from saying pop to soda.
Yeah,
Now
me
when I
too.
go out-
And I thought it was
my
like hardcore.
My
Yeah.
family is always like, it's a pop, and I'm like, I still don't drink
yeah.
it. Like I don't give a
People,
shit.
people will do you want a you want a soda? Like
You're
I
so
don't know,
highbrow
like,
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Remember
Was that your
last?
aunt?
Yeah. See, now
Thanks,
I'll say
Oprah.
both. I'll say both. My aunt,
Oh, no.
Barb, my aunt.
What about
Barb.
the motherfuckers that call it soda pop? Jesus Christ,
Oh,
you got
that
that.
fuck
really
yeah.
throw us
They just
off.
have too much time.
Also, just as an aside, soda pop was in The Outsiders. Rob Lowe. The end.
Oh yeah, soda pop.
That was bringing it all the way around.
Oh no, what
Full
I was
circle.
also going to go to is remember last week we talked about the woman that I thought was a fake, but turned out to be a real news report, which
yeah.
was Sweet Brown.
Yeah.
She got up not to get herself a cold pop.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what that was the whole reason she got up. Because that's what you want at 3 a.m. is a sugary beverage so you
right.
can sleep.
A cold
Oh
pop.
yeah. Nothing like cold pop.
And like a cold pop. There you go. Oh, an A&W cream soda. Yeah, Jeffrey, I'm on board with
Yeah.
that too.
Oh, I do like they.
I
like,
got on board with the cream sodas a long time
I
ago.
love cream. A good cream
Yeah.
soda and a really good root beer.
And you make that in a float with vanilla ice
Yeah.
cream. Oh
Little
shit.
sarsaparilla.
Ooh, we may have to have some. We don't have any, but next week we might.
We
be
got
able
to do it when it's hot, because that's the only time you can justify that kind of caloric intake.
It's
is when
my birthday also next week.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's
So
on
we can-
Wednesday, right?
It's on Wednesday,
Yeah.
yes. So we can do it
On
on
Tuesday.
Do you
Tuesday.
want to do root beer floats?
I do.
So that makes you
Oh,
both.
that's-
What
you're-
about with
so
like
you're both
root beer
Virgos?
schnapps?
Am I correct in
We
assuming?
are.
Yeah.
We are.
Perfect.
What'd you say,
Yeah,
Bonnie?
no, some
What
kind
about
of
with some root beer schnapps?
I think that sounds delicious.
right.
Oh,
We'll
for
put that
God,
to-
that's just a good
Christ on the
idea.
cross, an
Oofda.
adult
Root beer
Yeah.
schnapps. I'm gonna write that on my list of things to pick up and get this week.
I like it.
So okay, you did not.
Put 4.97 bottles of wine in there.
You don't give a shit.
No, this is on sale for 4.97 today.
Oh, but it's not root beer. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't care. I just want wine. I'm still not going to drink your pop.
The schnapps, you will. Katie,
Yeah.
no new diets. You haven't killed anybody. Everything's
No,
okay. Good.
Everything's good.
Yeah.
Although I am starting. Well, I was going to start tomorrow. The cabbage soup diet, and I'm not joking because I really have eaten like
think-
really a lot of bad things.
Yeah, Al told you about the cabbage in this room, right?
Oh,
Didn't he not?
yeah, he
So
did.
let's not.
But now I have a dinner date on Friday night and a dinner date on Saturday night. And
Does your
Go
wife?
for Vietnamese.
Does your wife know about these dates?
she does. She's
Okay.
going to be present on at least one of them.
Oh, at least one. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
I can't.
No
I,
sex after. If you're
I
doing
can
cabbage
no.
soup, there's
That's
no
what I'm
sex
saying.
after.
I can hardly start cabbage soup diet before I go on a couple of fun dinner dates. So that might have to be coming next week. But but then the root beer float throws me out. Anyway.
Seriously, nothing good happens on that cabbage
I
soup.
know.
Except for your crotch starts to smell a little bit like the sewer backed up.
So no new diets, but we did just
Same
spend a
region.
week.
Wow.
We spent a week in California, in LA.
Yeah.
So what was really great, we went to the beach for a couple of days in Santa Monica. It was very
Oh,
fun.
I love Santa Monica.
It was we had a really fun time. It was very hot. And what's the most depressing to me? Oh yeah, Yellowtail.
Would you like us just to get a fridge in here for you? Because you're very busy. It's in and out. Gosh.
Good idea.
What the worst part is that I love the rain, right? So I don't live in the right climate right? for really appreciating the rain.
Nantucket, I hear it rains a lot.
And it does.
Just a guess.
But I think it makes me like it and appreciate it more living here in the hot, dry desert.
Right.
So it rains like how many days did you say? Approximately out of the year.
A year?
Like a year. Like
Seven?
really like 5
This
to
year
7.
three. Yeah, this
I
year
literally
three.
said like maybe 5 to 7. And damn if I wasn't out of town for 3 of the 5 days.
Oh, and it's fucking rained.
It
has rained.
So I've heard and seen, didn't experience firsthand. So we brought the heat. It was hot as shit in California.
Yeah.
Really hot.
Yeah, Harrison was just saying that she was pissed off about the heat wave there.
It was so hot. Sorry about that, Harrison. So we were on the beach, like just boiling, but the water was fun to play in. And then we went to California Adventure for one day, which I'd never been to before.
Open the park. You're welcome. Thank you.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, did you? It was really fun. Yeah. And we went to Disney for a day. We had breakfast with the characters.
Have you not heard that story from me?
No.
I will tell you when we get to me. We'll tell you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the Tower of Terror. I'm a ride person.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's the one bummer at Disneyland is that like there's not really I like Big Thunder Railroad, but that's been closed every time I've gone. And Space Mountain's fun, but
it's closed every time I've been there.
Right, it was closed this last weekend. But but it's still fun. Space Mountain's really fun still, but it's.
Oh, I thought you were saying that was closed.
It was
as
closed.
well.
Yeah, no, they both were. Yeah, that was a bummer.
Now, and I can't remember.
That's
in Florida,
annoying.
they have the big thing about space exploration, so you go through a whole thing first.
Yeah, they don't have that.
Yeah, okay.
Here
because
in
everything in
California
Disneyland is so small that like the Hall of Presidents, there's only like 2 presidents. Where in Florida, it's all.
I don't even
40.
think there is a Hall of Presidents, or I didn't go to it.
Okay.
Surely, but They just kind of zoom you out. Anyway, so I really appreciated having a couple of fun rides over at California Adventure. My daughter really likes Cars. Cars
the
Land.
movie. I want to take my mom to that. Yeah.
So fucking cool.
I heard.
Like
That's
Kelly
awesome.
and I walked in, and it is. Have you all seen the movie?
Oh, yeah.
It's
in
Radiator
Springs.
Springs.
You literally walk into what Radiator Springs exactly is, and it was so cool and
that's very
so
cool.
much fun. And Palmer was beside herself with excitement to see Mater
Right.
and the character. I mean, the whole thing was so much fun. And the Tower of Terror is probably my new favorite thing on earth right now at this exact moment. And I wrote it over and over and over. There were no lines, and I was just like giggling and laughing and fun and. And
it's a great setup to it. And I went on a roller coaster trip, and that was like part one of the roller coaster trip with a friend of mine. And then let's go because I'm a roller coaster.
Me too.
Totally am.
All right.
Totally on board.
Junkie.
Magic, Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Oh my God,
it's like
I
8
will
hours
go.
away.
I've never been to Knott's Berry as well.
You don't give, nobody gives a shit.
No.
Perfect.
If
Good.
you want to see,
Glad I
see
missed
Mold
it.
Girl, that's where you're going.
Yeah.
So get to
Honest to God.
Wow.
Yeah.
the first part was we went to Disneyland. Like we kind of eased our way, and Harrison and my friend's mom were there for like the part 1 because Harrison wasn't getting on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So she was there for part 1. So we did Disneyland, where like anyways, I'll say something really offensive, but I won't. What I wanted
Like
to adopt
Why
to
not?
get me through the lines faster.
Oh.
But it was like all
Yeah.
about imagination and loving your children. I'm like, I don't want to be at this kind of park. So
Yeah.
we went across to California's Adventure, and it's day 1 of my second roller coaster trip with a friend that turns out had never really ridden roller coasters. Just thought it sounded like a fun thing to say. So we're doing the thing, and they're giving the great build up, and I'm like, so you're into this? Like you're okay? Like we're doing roller coasters for the next 3 days solid? Like, and he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I really just don't like anything that has a sudden drop.
Oh no.
Oh
And
shit.
I'm like,
And you're on
it's
that
called
ride?
Tower of Terror. We're going straight up, listening to a story. But the way they open the doors, and he
Oh,
just thought it
it's
was
so
something kind of
great.
funny and amusing. And then they like take you out over the park and then like drop your ass.
But I loved how like we
And
were.
we bought
they
that
do.
pic. We had to buy that picture
Oh, yeah.
because the look on his face of like,
Holy-
it falls.
There's a sudden drop.
I love that stomach feeling, and I had talked to someone before I went that said if you just totally relax, then you'll like come out of your seat a little bit, which is so great. So the first time I went on it, and they're giving you the story, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of freaked out, and I think we're still gonna climb before we do the first drop, and then it just drops, and the whole I was just like hysterically laughing, so much fun, and then it was great.
It has
Takes you
a
all
great-
the way up and down,
it
and
has a
all the
great
way up and
sense of
down.
humor to it.
Oh, it was just
great
Really?
sense of
No,
humor.
it does because you kind of giggle your way through the
Oh my
story,
God,
and then
yes.
the fall is unexpected
It's
because you're not
totally unexpected.
You're not expecting that. That's
and
a fun
the
time.
first of the picture, I like hands clenched but huge like giggling laughter, like I was just happy. Anyway, it was a really fun trip. My daughter had a super fun time.
And I'll just put it on the air for a couple of my friends that live in LA and Harrison. If you find an affordable place to live in Santa Monica proper, there's no cheating here. It has to be, my mailing address has to be Santa Monica, California. I will move.
Yeah, except for the traffic's real
Don't even
bad.
care. Because I would never leave. It's just like downtown Phoenix. If I can live in Santa Monica proper,
Right.
no cheating. Absolutely no exceptions. We can't be Santa Monica adjacent or I can
Santa Monica
see,
East.
Right,
No, yeah.
Santa Monica, I will move because I can have my bike. I have a beach. I'm sure they get sick. They have to have a hospital. I am down with Santa Monica. No, there is no other zip code.
We
or
were
area
staying right near a gymnastics
Wow.
park or gymnastics beach, and it was so cool. Really weird.
Gymnastics beach.
Gymnastics beach is what it was like kind of called, and they had all these rings and crazy. There were these.
You weren't at Muscle Beach in Venice, were
No.
you?
Totally
Okay.
different gymnastics.
Yeah, no, it was actually gymnastics.
Enjoyable.
Right, exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
But they had
Black's
these
Beach, too.
really crazy like tight rope things that they were tying between poles and bouncing on, and people like doing crazy rings, and it was just really
Like
neat.
Cirque du Soleil for the
For
beach.
the beach.
And that town
right
is
near
spectacular.
the pier. It's cool.
Okay, you get Robert Redford's production studios, you get Montana, you get 3rd Street Promenade, you get a beach.
Oh, I like the promenade.
You get
was
movie
cool.
premieres, like they hide all the art house films there.
Look at
Okay.
you.
Everything in Santa Monica, it's perfect, but it cannot be anywhere else because I can ride my bike in that square block. All will be well
Done.
with the world.
Done and done.
Next caller, Marnie, what you been doing? I didn't realize there was going to be an entire tourism report on Santa Monica, but we got there. That could have been a stuck away for hour
I like to throw it out there because when I move there, you'll know why.
I've heard a rumor that Al would move to Santa Monica.
I heard that. Seemed like on some show I heard that on.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the show.
It's been a
but,
standing offer
yeah.
since '97.
Santa Monica just hasn't heard about it.
Exactly. They're not aware.
They know because
Yeah.
I've been drunk in that town.
Is there a town you haven't been?
Well,
No.
No. Okay, just checking. Got it.
just working.
Yeah, got it.
The end.
The end.
Okay.
So, and I get my shot on Friday.
Well, I'm glad you have. Do you have a beverage to enjoy while you're not working, so you can relax a bit?
I didn't have any time.
There's some wine in the fridge. There's vodka. Make yourself.
This is my house.
yourself to
There is
home.
stuff in there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I think it'll take the edge off.
If we
Maybe.
actually, and we've also got that chocolate tequila. Remember that we started with some time back.
Oh yeah.
Got some of that. Put some ice.
Get busy, lady.
The
Get up.
Patron.
There you go.
Nice.
She can give you breast milk. I'm guessing.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe.
There's
No,
that.
thank you.
Yeah.
If you put tequila in it, it'll be okay.
And I next week. Well, I mean, it'll be after the show, but Jason.
Covert.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jason Covert asked me to go to Missouri with him, so I'm going to be going back to see his family.
Where in Missouri is that?
He
Do you
is
recall?
in. Yes, and now no.
Cape Town,
Nope.
Cape
Johannesburg.
No. Keep going.
Jefferson City.
No.
Sedalia.
No.
Mahatma Gandhi.
It's by
Lima, Peru.
It's by the. It's by where they play music, country people.
Branson.
Thank you.
Nashville.
Close to
That's
Branson.
not
Yeah.
in Missouri.
I'm like,
I'm just
sounds
listing
like-
all the other places
oh
where
my
you
god!
didn't. In
But
case you didn't catch
Branson
that.
is so fun.
It's outside of the. I don't know something.
Andy Williams
And
is
I
dead.
should be able
Honey,
to
I
tell you
think
where.
Andy Williams is dead.
And he is dead. He died last year. Andy Williams.
Yes.
Still dead.
Yes.
Moon River.
Christmas
dead.
isn't the
And
same.
in case you don't get that reference, one of my favorite episodes
I
of
don't.
Friends is where Phoebe has the dream about Jacques Cousteau. And it's one of the ones where they reveal all the secrets, like all those episodes where they reveal like all the secrets in a row. And Monica and Ross's mom is like, Phoebe, honey, I think Jacques Cousteau is dead. And that has struck me as like the funniest line on TV in the last 30 years.
But I
Just
don't
her
know
delivery.
about that part, but similar.
It's
Yeah,
the Brad Pitt
same.
episode,
Yes.
in case you're wondering.
The Brad
Very nice.
Pitt episode.
Very
No,
nice.
now I'm back on
but
board.
I do.
I'm on.
No, I remember the Jacques
course you
Cousteau,
are.
but I
Yeah.
don't know that that's the funniest.
Because from your childhood, you remember Friends.
Her parents let her stay up
Where's
to
your
watch
bell?
it.
If I had a bell, I'd go ding dong, ding dong, ding.
So,
But we're
anyway.
keeping the apothecary table, right? Okay, so there is that.
That's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
Perky.
Well, I had a harrowing experience yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I was mildly under the weather, and I was selling the I have allergies story that everyone that got me sick was telling.
Okay.
So I was visiting my neurologist, who was so excited to use a stethoscope, because it doesn't come up a lot in the neurological practice. So I get up.
I thought you said urologist is what I thought.
I
you
definitely
said.
also
I'm like,
thought you said urologist.
I'm not sure how a stethoscope is going to go into this story.
Two heads, one story.
Okay. Sell it, bitch. Sell it.
I get up in what I think is a mild rainstorm, and I'm all excited because I haven't had an adventure in the rain, and everyone knows I've been bitching about my lack of rain.
I forgot about this.
Since May, and that it's causing some kind of psychological damage, that there has been no moisture in my life. Yeah. So...
Good Lord.
So I take the drive up and I'm like, well, I'll throw on sandals. It's not raining that hard. Like, we don't have to put on like rain gear or anything. Well, I get on the 17 going north because he's way up past Deer Valley. And I go into what I'm going to call Hurricane Betty because it's the second hurricane in my life. So we'll have to be on B. And it was bad to the point where like the signs were flashing, like low visibility, high winds.
Abort.
Fuck down.
Right.
And it was getting like worse and worse and worse. And I was like, okay, this is not
normal.
Terrific. And I wasn't thinking about where I was going and all the people that I see on TV that I think are fucking retards. Sorry, but that's exactly what I think about them on the TV.
You mean when the stupid motorist launch?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
So I go in and I'm way up north and I get off the freeway and I make my little turns and don't realize like how the elevation is sloping. And I make the turn into my doctor's complex and I like kind of went through a small river, lake, pulled in, got the Princess parking. I thought, okay, it's like 20 feet. It's really coming down.
Oh, yeah.
We're like at Seattle rain where the clouds are like an inch above my head. Go in, and by the time I made it to the door, which was only maybe 50, 60 steps at the most, I was like soaked through that I thought my phone was ruined. And my shoes were completely ruined because the parking lot was under like 4 inches of water.
They were surprised to see you.
Right. So I show up drenched, and they're like, it wasn't this bad a minute ago. I'm like, what's this bad now? So they're bringing me towels. I'm like coughing uncontrollably because I haven't been feeling well. And now I look like this drowned rat. So they're bringing me towels. They're trying to get me better, get me warmed up because I'm shaking because they have the air conditioning on because they're in an open window, 4th floor building. And I'm like shaking. And the doctor comes in and he's like telling me, he's like, listen, he's like, what's wrong with you really? And I'm like, allergies. He's like, really? I'm like, no, it's not allergies. But the people that gave me this have been saying allergies, so I'm just continuing the lie.
A-holes.
So he listens to me and he's like, he's like, go home, get warm, sweat it out, take like an over-the-counter cold flu, sleep, sweat, do what you got to do. He's like, but get out of here. And then he's like a little kid on a chair looking out his window and he's like, it's really funny. He's like, it's usually sunny in this room and it's so dark outside. He's like, oh, drive carefully.
So he calls me.
No, so I pull out and I realize that like I can't really see that far
Not
in either direction.
Right.
Just clarify that.
So I can't see that far in any direction and I have to go left to go home. But I'm like, I can't make, because it's 27th Avenue, so it's kind of a big stream. Like, I can't make a left. I don't feel safe going across 4 lanes of traffic when I can't see far enough. I'm like, and somebody's going 40 down the street.
Yeah.
There's some asshole that thinks, oh, we're going to go
I'm
40.
fine. Everybody else should slow down, but I got this.
I got
one.
this.
So I make a right, not realizing, again, the elevation and that I'm going down. So I'm like, I'm just going to circle around the block and make a safe, a right onto the freeway. I think I got this. So I made the right, and then I'm like driving, and all of a sudden I'm like, I can still see John C. Lincoln Hospital, I can still see my doctor's office, but I'm going down this road that all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, they paved a wash. And as I'm like driving, I'm like, this is a paved wash. Why would you build a road? It's a paved. I'm like, this is what gets people in trouble. This was not a road.
Right.
You lazy motherfuckers.
Right.
So I'm driving, and all of a sudden I see a car come around, and it's like a big high up truck, and I'm like, oh, it's up to like the middle of the doors. So I'm like starting to go down and I'm like abort. And there's somebody behind me. So I'm like honking my horn. I slam on my brakes because I'm like, I'm doing a U-turn. Like I can't go any further. So I turn around and like the car's like, and I smell smoke and I'm like, fucking A. God. So I turn around and I start, and then I hit the like get home. So I hit the navigation system and I hit go home to see if they can like get me around.
And
so
it's underwater.
Siri comes on and says, can you swim?
Yeah. So I go down another street.
Get out of your vehicle.
And I'm staying
swim west.
My flippers.
Yeah, so now I'm starting to look and I'm like, okay, the far right, like almost to the sidewalk, is elevated. Like it's not underwater. I'm like, I'm just going to drive up there because it's not in the water. Like I'm not going to stay in the middle because it's the middle of a fucking wash.
Yeah.
So then I make a turn and it tells me to go around the block. And then all of a sudden, like the car, I went from like normal, nothing looked weird, and then a wave. Seriously, I'm not, hand to God, a wave came towards me, and my car was like above the doors in water. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was just fine. Like, I was making all smart choices. So
You
I
were almost on the news,
And
is
I
what you're
feel
saying.
like you are a very conscientious driver.
And I put the car in
It's very
reverse, and I'm backing up because I'm like, okay, that's a fucking wave. I was just in the ocean recently. I know what a wave like. It wasn't a white cap, but for my story, we're gonna say a white cap came at me. So I go
he
in
was
reverse.
parasailing.
So then I called him because my phone was on because I made them give me plastic to put my phone and my wallet in because it was raining so hard. So I'm like, I know you have a hazardous bag for like toxic stuff. Like, I need one for my stuff. So the phone had gone to the floor during one of the miraculous U-turns. So I'm worried that I only have a couple seconds left and I can't bend over to get the phone. So I called you because I'm like, I have to at least tell someone where I am because I can't call 911 and everybody else has started to like not choose these roads. And you see the flashing lights everywhere as they're closing roads all around me. And I just got lucky and just made it to like, I could see like the ramp up to the freeway. But I was seriously driving in reverse on the wrong street. Like, I was going backwards because this wave was literally coming.
Oh, my gosh. That's crazy.
I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then so then at Greenway, so I'm coming back, and Greenway flooded.
I saw that.
Because Greenway Road goes underneath. What did they do? They paved a fucking wash.
Yeah. Well, but it's the flash flooding they really talk about. It happens like that.
Absolutely.
And I mean, seriously, like, I was fine, and a wave came at me, and I was like...
Was it Katrina and the waves?
Oh, my God. Almost. But I was not walking on sunshine. And I was seriously like... I have an all-electronic car. Like, if this car goes, I don't know how I'm going to get out of the car.
You literally would be swimming.
Because you could smell the smoke. Like, you could smell my car go
And
smoky.
everything now, though?
I am not driving again for a really long time. But I
Jesus.
Because I was seriously PTSD.
But you got home. And,
I got home.
And you survived
Took my
that.
cold sleep pill that luckily...
Has Clayton checked on the car yet?
Well, no, I'm not going to.
No. There's a Ford dealership.
Yeah, there's somewhere. There's a warranty, and then no.
I have to tell you though, I was like serious PTSD when that thing started coming at me, and I'm like, all right, I gave up winter. I can't give up like rain.
Yeah.
Right. Well, no.
So that was the highlight of my week. But a good long sleep, and then I went to the gym today and read a couple Entertainment Weeklies and sweat my ass off.
Oh, good.
I think I got rid of some of it.
Very nice.
But all these people come into work because they don't want to use their PTO.
That was so much more of a story than I had anticipated. Really was.
Oh no, it scared the shit out of me.
Believe that.
Because like, and you know, I don't go up that far north for a reason. Like, it's just desert that they paved a couple roads through and built a hospital and a couple nice houses.
Yeah.
But I had never seen a flash flood happen.
Yeah.
And I always thought these are the stupidest fucking people in the world that try, I can make it across that.
And then
they get rescued. And then it happens to me and I'm like,
Did you notice that Al just became a hair lip? Did anybody else notice that? Then I'm gonna go to anyway.
I don't know about that.
I don't know, but I was seriously had a little bit more pity for those people on the top of their cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it fixed surgically, just like Joaquin Phoenix.
I'm sure you did.
Formerly known as River.
Speaking of flooding.
Yes.
River Phoenix flooding. Whatever.
Funny.
Last week, Wednesday. Now we all know that my birthday was Saturday.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, I wonderfully, and you were part of it, and you were part of it, and I don't know where the fuck you were.
She had been a bad girl all week.
You were in California.
Sure.
A surprise birthday party for me at Stacy's on Melrose, or at Melrose. Wonderful, wonderful. Because Matt knows how I react to service calls when a restaurant calls and says they're down. I show up because that's what I do. So I run in and I walk into a wall of people all smiling at me. And I'm thinking to myself, nobody's really that happy to see the IT guy when you walk into a restaurant. And then I'm like, fuck you people. So that was that was my Wednesday, and the whole week was just a surprise after surprise. And birthday, I turned 44 without incident, and here we are on the downside of that. So
that was a very fun party.
That's fun.
It was. Fun. Mostly, I remember a lot of it. Now, Saturday was a good time. Saturday, I spent the day with Mom, and it was sort of a turn of events with the way that all worked. We had lunch, which was fantastic and fine. And then we got mani-pedis. I took her for that. And then I went and got her hair done and went and had a beverage. And she says, I really like your birthdays because I get stuff.
I get a lot done.
Yeah, so she got all that.
As well she should.
Yeah, so I'm like, hell, it's a 44th anniversary of
I love that you celebrate
Yeah.
in that manner. And I had never heard of that before, honestly, but I saw you post something on Facebook about it, and I thought, that's really cool.
I told her next year, for my 45th, we're getting facelifts. No, I'm kidding. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Bad.
Neither of us need those at this point. Someday, you never know.
What don't you need?
I don't need a facelift. What don't I need?
What don't you need?
I need a lot of things. Oh Oh my God. Well, we've wasted 40 minutes of this hour talking about catching up in Disneyland and flooding. So now, don't commingle the two. Disneyland is not flooded. That does not need to go out anywhere.
They probably just paved a wash though and put up a fucking parking lot.
Yeah, but they put a pond in California Adventure so it can water all goes to
and
it.
They built Disney World on a swamp, so I guess nobody's safe.
There you go. Oh, it was cheap land.
Literally in Hurricane Alley.
There is that. We are coming back moments from now. We got a couple headlines to play with. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We have a whole lot of time, so get your beverage, find a seat, and hang on. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
In over half the states in the U.S., you can be fired from your job simply for being gay or transgender.
Imagine going to work every day and not being able to talk to your coworkers about your life. Not being able to share what you did over the weekend. Not being able to put up a family photo.
Always worrying that if you let something slip, you could be fired.
Nobody should ever have to face that fear.
It's time for things to change.
We all have to get involved.
We all have to give a damn.
I give a damn. Do you? Join us at wegiveadamn.org to learn more.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Okie doke. We're going to attempt to get through a couple stories that are some important, some aren't, but they're all actual stories because I have paper and there's printing.
That's all we need for proof now.
A drunk man steals a cat and seeks its owners on Craigslist.
Oh, Iowa, you blind me with your brilliance.
Costume superheroes rescue a cat.
Arizona porn watchers, you're not extraordinary.
Man uses a cell phone to call 911 about other people using their cell phones.
Oh, I have that in an entertainment story too.
Do you believe she did it?
Florida execution delayed because an attorney general's fundraiser was on the same day.
Shocking. Gay marriage is a moneymaker.
And how do court reporters keep straight faces? Oh, so you have that one in your entertainment section, do you, my dear Al? Well, we'll have Al chime in on the on that one, I guess. That's what we'll have to do. Overlay, take that off, redo that. Here we go. We're good. All right. Well, I love it when I have stories that have audio to them.
Me too.
Because it just makes them better. What do I call this story? Stolen. There we go. Got it. Stand by. Got this, and boom, we're on. I was all prepared for every day for the stories today, and then time got away from me. Here we go to Chico, California. A man who said he accidentally stole a cat while he was drunk posted an ad on Craigslist hoping to find its owners, according to this story from GeoBeats.
Okay, so we've all heard stories of people acting silly after some drinks, but one California man took it too far. He reportedly stole a cat after drinking a little too much. The man felt so horrible about his actions that he posted an apology online the day after swiping the black kitty named Django. The drunken man claimed to have thought he was doing a good thing by rescuing a stray, but noticed the next morning that Django had a collar, clearly labeling the animal as someone's pet cat. The soft-hearted man is now trying to find the kitty's human family. He has posted an ad on Craigslist with a comical heading that reads, "Possibly stole someone's cat while I was drunk last night." He even included a picture of Django, hoping the owners will easily recognize their pet. The unnamed cat thief said he was feeding Django cheese. He also pointed out that he doesn't have a litter box. In the man's own words, he described Django as a cat with sleepy eyes that appears to be stoned.
Oh my gosh. Well, there is that. Poor Django. He's unchained and somewhere with a guy looking for the. I would say go back to where you were last known to be conscious and release the cat, because the cat will find its way home.
Yeah,
they'll figure it out. Yes,
according to every Disney movie I've ever seen.
Yeah,
both.
Yes, I love Disney movies.
I do too.
A lot.
I didn't like them as much once they stopped singing, but still on board.
Gotcha.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah, go. I'm not waiting.
Nope.
What are you waiting on?
I didn't know if you.
Oh no, that was it. Cat not found.
Well,
cat not found.
Iowa. What could possibly go wrong with giving gun permits to the blind?
I had heard this.
What?
Okay, so I
The
have not
ADA,
laughed
Jesus.
that hard in a long time reading through this fucking article. Should blind people be granted gun permits? Really? I mean, really.
Next, they'll want driver's licenses.
Isn't this an older story?
No, this just came out last week.
Yeah, no, this is just new. So
I'm sure that somebody else has done this before, but I mean, this in Iowa just happened.
Well, and oddly, it's up for debate. I wonder who'd debate that. I don't know.
Hope they're going to put the minutes in Braille.
Seriously, and
that was unintentional. I'm terribly sorry.
Well, what are you going to do? You know, like when you get to the crosswalk and it fucking beeps?
I
mean, is that
wait,
what,
wait,
you know?
wait,
yeah.
wait,
Wait,
walk. It's a
Stop.
Chirp,
Shoot.
shoot,
Shoot.
What the hell, right?
Reload.
Shoot to maim. Shoot to maim. Aim low.
This Jane Hudson says that it should happen because.
Did you say Jane Hudson?
I know, it sounds like someone famous, but it's not. You're just mixing up a lot of famous names.
No, it's baby Jane Hudson.
Yeah, exactly.
Americans with Disabilities Act, because of that, blocking visually impaired people from getting weapons permits would violate the American
Sanity.
with Disabilities Act.
We're stretching.
Now, in
We're
some
stretching.
states, well, we don't want to piss anybody off, you know. In some, they might shoot.
Bitch, please.
If they can find me, boop, and then go over here. You never know. They wouldn't find you.
Luckily, they're not deaf, so they can find me.
But if you go, that's a good
Actually,
point.
deaf
That's a good
people
point.
can find you. They can feel it.
I know the vibration.
Well, in Nebraska and South Carolina, I mean, there's stuff all over. I mean, there's a proof of vision that you have to have in Nebraska and South Carolina to get a gun permit. I wonder how that works. Like you go in and someone jumps out, and if you look at them, maybe
if you see him and shoot him, keep it. Yours.
Maybe, I don't know.
You miss, we take it.
In Texas, lawmakers passed a measure in 2007 to help legally blind people hunt. And that's the Dick Cheney law, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. It
That's
allows.
awesome.
Maybe I'm lying.
Really,
it
really
allows
good. No, but I think-
legally blind hunters accompanied by a sighted partner.
That's the story
to
that I
use
remember.
Laser sighting device. Sighting devices. So now, if
because Florida was busy that week, so Texas had to take up the charge.
Well, that's why I said like the Dick Cheney law, because I mean, really wouldn't it? But like, who's responsible if someone's like, now, and then you know, like you shoot some
That's
friend.
whenever they have Dick Cheney talk about responsible gun ownership on Fox News, I just tune in.
Yeah.
Right,
The guy that shot his friend in the face a couple times.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
Bring him on. Make him your expert.
So as you go down and
Fox,
you're reading this, you get to the end of this, and it says earlier this year, blind entertainer Stevie Wonder weighed in on the matter, and I lost it. Like
that's
I was
amazing.
done.
There doesn't even have to be a follow-up sentence.
No, but I will give it, because I thought if he says this is great, but he said no. He has called for stricter gun laws. And he said, imagine me with a gun. It's just crazy. So, seriously, that boy.
And if Stevie Wonder can't do it, no one can.
No one can. In New Jersey.
Because I've seen that fool play 19,000 instruments.
Thank you.
He can find a gun.
Yes, he can do just about anything.
The problem is last year in New Jersey, a gentleman won when he sued for his rights to bear arms. And that's the problem.
We're just not going to let you load them, sir. You can bear them all you want to.
Well, that's right. He had his gun
away.
collection, and he had it for years, and there was this battle of it. You want to have your gun collection, have it. Have it locked away and have someone else have the key, because you can't find it.
Yeah.
I'm going to hide it.
Right over here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Just out of reach.
Plain
can't
sight.
get it. That's enjoyable.
Too easy. Somebody had to take
I
it.
know.
away.
I liked it. So it's just simply that the police didn't want this
Got
Steve
blindsided by that.
Hoppler to have his own firearms because he's blind, and they felt that was improper. According to this guy. Shut up.
Well, no. You know, the simple answer to this whole thing is let them bear arms. They just can't buy ammunition.
Oh, good. Have that
Not a bad
bimbo.
point. Not a bad point.
Blind people can own cars. Just don't give them a fucking license.
You can't. Well, or the keys. Or the keys. Really.
It's an
You can give them
investment.
But I
keys. They
guess
just don't be keys to that car. Keep them busy.
That's right. Keep going. Going around in a circle. I'm with
you
stupid.
could-
I feel like we might be offending the blind, but I think they know they shouldn't drive.
Well, they
Logical
shoot
people.
guns. It's about logical
However,
people.
we
Right.
shouldn't have a radio show, but we do. So I don't know.
Right, exactly.
Right,
So really, there's no
Well,
proof
so-
of any logic in the
Yeah,
world.
okay.
Give them their guns. I
Yeah,
guess, is
give
what
their
we're
guns.
saying.
Leave us on the air.
Yeah, I
Justified.
went through, and certainly not to read it, but I went through the facts of the Americans with Disabilities Act, and it just didn't.
There's a
nothing,
lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, but nothing really jumped out at me like, man, they should have a gun.
No, but you know, one of the funny things, not funny, and I'm sure if somebody with a disability is in the chat room, by all means, chime in.
Yeah.
One of the things
If
that
you're
I've
blind,
found,
I want to know why you want a gun.
one of the funny things that I found is that with the ADA, especially because of the industry that I work around a lot with restaurants and bars, the ADA requires there be so many feet behind a bar so that somebody with a wheelchair who can't stand up to be a bartender could potentially be behind the bar. No, I think that's asinine to make a bar, which one of the bars here in town had to redo the entire setup and lose valuable floor space because the ADA came in and said, you've got to have room for this. Okay, but if you can't stand up behind
you could still be the bar manager.
Yeah.
You could.
And that's why.
You could still have to do something behind it. You could bar back.
And let's say someone that we know very well.
I bar backed in a chair.
But let's
because
just say,
of my own personal disability, I did bar backing one night in a chair.
And being a devil's advocate, like let's say somebody that we know very well, and I'm not naming a person, but someone that we're friends with that's a bartender, were to suddenly become, get in a bad accident and be in a wheelchair, they would still be, you're totally right, a good bar manager, or could still potentially bartend or bar back or waitress or something. Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, yes, there's...
I'm just not finding it, because there is so much speed involved in a bartender that they're just
but all they can't do is walk. I can move. I didn't have to... I could be hanging upside down and still have made those drinks.
I completely see your point.
No, I do. We're just being technical,
point.
Because it doesn't make sense that you're going to go up to a bar and someone that can't reach the bar or the alcohol up top is going to be making your drinks.
Or jump around and grab glassware and ice.
But I honestly, due to wearing heels for too long, one night had to bar back in a chair, and I did just fine, and there was room.
And just the idea that way there's
might
no
have been inebriated
discrimination
too.
To be able to say, even though you're perfectly qualified, short of legs, you cannot do this.
The Clarendon had to shut down.
Because I think of my dad being in a wheelchair, and he was like, the bar guy. Should he have been the bar manager? No, he drank the profits. But, but I mean, really, if that had been his thing, to tell him no would have been, I don't know. But I see it. It would have been ridiculous, to be honest. Having been
the
back
Clarendon.
there,
okay, their upstairs bar, which is so great, their rooftop bar. They had to close it for a long while, and it's either just opened or opening soon because they didn't have access for wheelchairs or handicapped people. So we did a Kirsten Cinema event.
How do they not with an elevator?
Because it only goes to the third
It only
floor.
went to that
that's
floor.
right. It didn't go to the fourth floor.
The elevator shaft went all the way to the top, but
I recall.
the elevator didn't go. So we did a Kirsten Cinema event there. One of my very first events that we did for her. And we get up, it was right at the beginning of the campaign. And and we get up there and someone says to me, I booked it and planned it and did the whole thing. And someone says, hey, did we think about, like handicap accessibility up here? And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm not kidding you. Right as we were like, fuck, I look around the corner and a guy who has barely any use of his legs, who has those two little hand cane things, comes crawling around the stairs to climb up there, and I about just died. I was like,
the first thing I said.
So I made every accommodation for him. Like, let me help you. How can I help you? And he was perfectly lovely and he didn't even say anything about it, And he was perfectly lovely and gave a donation and the whole thing. But I felt
then he called the city the next day. And
Arizona is very lax on that. You only have to be handicap accessible if you have a third floor. Like if you are only a 2-floor building, then it's just the first floor that has to worry, and anything that has to legally be handicapped.
That's so interesting.
You don't need an elevator in a building
thought it was
unless
about historic.
No, it's just the stupid you can put people in the back of your truck laws that they've never updated. Yeah. But the minute you have a third floor, then you have too many choices, and you have to have an elevator, which is why most apartment complexes in Arizona stop at the second floor.
A lot of the old ones,
yeah, but they all stop at 2 floors because at a third floor you have to install an elevator. The first time I went to the roof.
How the fuck do you know all these things?
Because I worked in restaurants, bars, and I worked, but
he's Al.
Well, even with the idea, I didn't realize that. I thought it was historic.
I never heard
that it was if the building was.
But there are a lot of 2-story apartment
complexes.
complexes.
Everything in Arizona is 2 stories is to stop that law. So the first time I went up to the roof of the Clarendon, and I'm like, okay, something goes wrong up here. There is no access but those stairs. There is no elevator access. This is complete discrimination. The first time I sat up there, I'm like, it's coming. I'm like, there will be an elevator up here. Somebody is going to realize this is not accessible to handicapped people.
So what did they do? Did they make the elevator go to the top?
They made it. And like I said,
but it's taken them all summer.
It has. And right when you would come around that staircase up to the top, you walked around
the elevator
the
shaft.
elevator shaft.
I know. I'm aware of that.
Yeah. So they just had to add on so that rooftop bar.
The slowest elevator in North America.
As soon as someone complained, perhaps, or it was brought to someone's attention, I mean, immediately they had to shut it down. They shut that upstairs. They had to shut it down.
And I believe it was
right now.
And again, without naming names, I believe it was because of that that event
No.
that you guys put on.
Yeah,
You're-
no, I do too.
I would bet it was.
Yeah, and I pretty solidly feel like I know who that was.
I do too.
Stop it.
Who else would bring that much attention to the rooftop of the Clarendon but you, Katie June, and
Way to go,
Kirsten
Katie
Cinema?
June.
I mean,
Well
it was
done.
totally my fault. I booked it and planned it and didn't.
No,
By the way,
but it was-
actually,
it was
you
just-
opened up a whole lot of new opportunities for folks that
I did
have
indeed.
Sell it,
difficulties.
sell it, Marnie.
Thank
However
you.
gotta
That was
sell
my
it.
intention from the get go.
You
Sure.
did well. Well done.
Very good. I'm gonna let you have that
Yes.
story for when you talk about that a little bit later.
Oh, I heard that too. I knew the day and time when somebody finally said, "That's not gonna work." Yep.
Yeah. Congratulations, Katie June. Unintentional, but you got her done.
Makes me very happy.
I'm sure you could cut a ribbon and claim it as your own if you want to. Well, we barely get through a week without going down to the what do you call it, the penis of America?
Yep.
Florida.
The shaft.
Florida. Well, Florida's Attorney General has apologized for prompting a delay in an execution originally scheduled for today because the date conflicted with one of her political fundraisers, maybe at the top of a hotel.
Perhaps.
State Attorney General typically march to the electoral victory by preaching how tough they are on crime. Well, enter Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is seeking re-election as a convicted murderer. Marshall Lee Gore is facing the death penalty. Gore was set to be executed today for the killing of 30-year-old Robin Novick, a 19-year-old Susan Rourke in 88. I don't know how they type these things. It took 25 years to get the case to this point. Not unusual for capital punishment cases, which often get bogged down with appeals and lawyers and more appeals. But what's unusual about the case is that Bondi asked Governor Rick Scott, a fellow Republican, to delay Gore's execution instead of rescheduling a campaign event she'd planned for her South Tampa home, according to the Tampa Bay Times.
It's amazing.
So Phyllis Novick, one of the victims' mother, says, "What the hell is going on down there?" She told the newspaper when the story broke. When the reporter asked Bondi about the shift, she apologized. So, by God, we're going to raise some money. But tomorrow you're going. Tomorrow, not today.
Not today.
Not
And
today.
the Onion had the story about because yesterday the first Monday night game was Texas against the San Diego Chargers.
Okay.
And they had a thing in the Onion, and two people picked it up as a real story. Didn't read the byline.
I love it.
That for halftime entertainment, Texas scheduled an execution.
Oh my God.
It's on the Onion. It's really funny. And from what I heard, nobody did it nationally, but two local news picked it up as a real story and kind of ran with it.
Oh, that's
which just
funny.
tells you that whoever that they're hiring as interns really is fucking with the people.
Right.
They're going to be like, all right, you're not going to pay us. We're going to have a little bit of fun while we're here.
Some levity, if you will.
We're going to destroy the news reputation of your division.
Right now. We do it. Martin?
Well, you guys aren't extraordinary. The little porn watchers of Arizona. You're not extraordinary.
I like my porn. Don't fuck with my porn.
I'm just telling you, you're not extraordinary compared to other places, according to Pornhub.
.com.
Yes. .com. I all of a sudden this jumped up last week, and I went, "What?"
Now we talking about Arizona, Phoenix. Okay, Arizona as a state.
Yep, and
We're not as populous as other states.
well, neither's Idaho.
Great comeback.
Well, only because
Neither Bahrain.
it appears that people from Wyoming like cigarettes involved in their porn.
Okay.
And that folks in Idaho like parody porn. Kentucky's
Like
big
lots
on
of parrots or parody?
parody. porn.
Parody.
Polly want a porn.
I want something else.
Kentucky's big on animated porn.
Good.
All right,
So is Japan.
I got to draw the line there.
Animated
Porn,
porn.
yeah, anime. I don't get it.
And people
I
from
don't get that either.
Montana like to see someone's wife.
That is so
And Nevada
weird. Is
residents
this an Onion article as well?
No, appear to have a fascination with the same
Sex.
porn star.
Same
porn star. In Arizona, it's
We like it
apparently
missionary
porn and
style,
sex. People
facing the
between the
Smitties.
ages of 18 and 19.
So they're just a 2-year swath that they're checking on.
Apparently.
Those 18,
No,
19, they're
that's
going to
what
watch
people like
anything.
to watch.
Oh, they want to watch somebody
we
who
wanna
is
watch
18 or 19?
19-year-olds.
Yep, it's the top 3 search terms are compilation, cream pie, and teen.
Oh, isn't that something?
I like the middle one.
Is this Mesa?
Cream pie.
I have to say,
We just lost Mesa, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
I mean, none of those things actually are appealing to me. Compilations, cream pies, or teenagers.
Right.
And
What the hell are you into then, Katie? God damn.
Well, as a lesbian, I can see where like 2 out of the 3 aren't doing nothing for you.
Right.
I think the middle one would be your selection, really.
The stay on the website, Pornhub, pornhub.com.
Why would
just a
someone
little
read
bit
about what other
longer.
people are watching in porn? Why would
mean,
you
it
just watch
actually is
porn?
kind of-
I was fascinated
We are
by
a world
this
of
because
data.
This is what Pat Robertson does for porn. He
in-
reads about other people watching porn.
in the name of science,
Good.
we now know what kind of porn people from Arizona are into.
Well, let's
That's crazy.
let's run this
Teenage
list down.
cream pie face porn.
Oh,
It's
God, that's
apparently
filthy.
That is the top 3 search terms
In
in Arizona.
Group
Teen group cream pie face.
Cream pie face.
1, 2, and 3.
I mean,
one box.
I it just said cream pie, right? But I'm a
Cream pie.
Does that come
I'm
as a
assuming
DVD
that-
set?
That's what makes it a
Is it a
compilation.
compilation?
Oh,
I'm trying to look up the other stats.
One of the funniest jokes that Bill Maher always said was if they ever got rid of porn on the internet, the only internet site would be whatthefuckhappenedtotheporn.com.
It also appears just about every state puts in cream pie.
Cream pie is
Why?
like really a big.
In
Have you guys-
Arkansas,
It's taboo.
Can we just be real honest right now? Has anyone? I don't even know what cream pie
I
is.
do.
I mean, I'm
Any
assuming.
idea?
I'm going to use my imagination, but I don't.
something that looks pretty good. Use a cream pie.
I think it's because it's so taboo. Like it's so like
it's so
Likey.
hideous, horrible. I would rather not watch porn at all.
something that only happens in
If that's
fantasies kind of
surprising.
dream. Yeah.
No, that is
What else?
no
What
fantasy
else?
of mine.
Well, Arkansas,
Again, you're a lady. Why would you? You know what I mean?
I thought Arkansas had.
And I'm using the
had
term
this
lady
one thing
pretty
in it, but
loosely.
Arkansas is cream pie, lesbian, and compilation.
Back on track. I'm back on board.
I just said Arkansas.
I'm sorry, but
So-
lesbian porn is what? Like watching the U-Haul back up?
Seriously.
Like beep, beep. That's the dialogue.
But
How
none
many
of,
dogs do you have? I have 10. I have 5. Good, we're good.
let's have sex.
I don't know what this one word means.
Really?
So I'm gonna have to look it up.
Compilation?
No.
I don't know what you're talking
Let
about.
me see.
In Alabama, ebony, cream pie, and oh, thank God.
Unknown. It's
I'll-
just the
I'll feel free to
unknown.
Google
Last
that
week we had the
one.
dangers of homonyms. I'm not sure
go
what
ahead
this one
and
is.
look
Give it
this
to
one
me.
up.
All right.
Okay. We're
Okay,
talking
you
about
look.
porn.
You guys look.
Asian?
You
No.
guys.
No, I know what
Asian.
Asian means.
What is? Let me see it. Where's the word?
Under Alabama.
Ebony, hentai,
I'm gonna Google it.
HENT. Oh.
Oh,
whoops.
now Bert and Ernie's on it.
Yep. Oh, hey.
What the hell happened there?
Oh,
Porn.
and Ernie just entered the top 20, or she is in the top 20 for fundraising in AIDS Walk, Arizona.
We have more
Ah,
coming up
very
in just
nice.
moments until after 8 o'clock. The
My
end of
girl.
hour 1. I don't know what we accomplished in that hour, but we've got 2 more to come. I didn't mean that sounded bad. Sorry about that. We'll be back right after this with some more stuff about cream pies and porn, I think. I'm not sure.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Once again, hello. It's 8:02. It's a Tuesday night. This is the show on Q Talk America. I'm Clayton McKee. Thank you for joining all of us and all the ships at sea. Whoever's listening in Bahrain, Canada, United States, a couple people are. That's just the audio stream. I don't know if you're watching live. If you are watching live, hi.
And anyway, but we're not on video.
Yeah.
Oh, so let's
Yep.
do that again.
Part 2.
Let's do this. Hi. Now we can wave. Hi.
Hi.
As soon as I can figure out how to run this whole goddamn show. I moved it closer to home. I just don't know any better how to run it.
I look like I have color in that shot.
It's because I added so many fucking lights to this, and we're not done.
That's why it was
Looking
so
good,
hot in
Al.
here when I got
I'm
here.
adding more lights.
Because I was like
by
a
the way.
roasted chicken in here for $5.99.
I know what I did. I forgot to shut the other vents off to direct all this. It's a long story with this air
Oh no!
conditioning.
But when I
Feels
walked in here,
good,
all I thought
actually.
was like the heat lamps. I'm like, Jesus
Oh, yeah,
Christ!
yeah.
That's a good
Let
temp.
that chicken die.
What do you mean it's a good temp? Just
It's
because
a- no, it's a
No,
good
it's good
temp in
now.
here.
Oh.
No, it is.
We're
But
getting there.
when I got here, I couldn't even stand in this room. And you know, if I'm uncomfortable,
Yeah.
me that has an Afghan on in August,
Right.
this one was
Yeah,
gonna
I
drop
know, right?
dead.
Yeah. So
And
Actually,
I'm
I'm a bit chilly.
I don't want want to criticize, but that room in there is warm. And he's like, no, he told me this long story. I'm like, all right, I'll wait till he walks in. He didn't even get a foot in there. He's like, stop!
Too fucking hot.
I forgot to shut off other vents to direct all of the air into this one room.
Got it.
And I don't mean to criticize, but I just know that if I'm warm, the rest of the world is going to die.
Gonna die, right. There's that. Anyway, we'll
and he
get
knows
through
on bike rides home because I'm like, oh, I need a sweater. And he's
yeah,
like, what?
and it was still 104 degrees, and he's like, God, it's a little brisk. I'm like, whatever.
And I'm with him. Like, I have an Afghan or a blanket on, laying on the couch all the time. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do with myself.
I don't
Love
know. We are kicking off hour 2. We got a couple more headlines to get through. We
Did
also
you play the disclaimer?
have you heard it yet?
No, I don't know. I had my headphones off. I honestly don't know what happened. I just was told to wave to people. It's like at the end of a porn movie. Wave at the people.
Thanks for coming. Weird. Because we've been told by a couple people that we get to our drinking word a little bit too late in the game, we're going to start now. So before we continue on, let's go to the drinking disclaimer.
For a drinking word. Oh.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye. And there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Oh, good luck, Al.
Your drinking word is, will your majesty be having ice?
What?
Like your majesty?
That is rather lengthy.
No, just your majesty.
Just your majesty.
That's why I want you all to address me for the rest of the show.
Oh, Lord.
Here, your majesty.
Sir or ma'am.
I didn't think it was that hard to call me your majesty.
Your majesty is how somewhere in we have to fit that in.
Because I thought Regina Gloriana was too much to ask on such a good.
I agree. Your majesty.
Is that what they look up in Alabama for porn? Regina Gloriana, whatever it is?
Majesty Regina Gloriana.
My God.
I used to make them at the bar call me God's chosen vessel, and I wouldn't get them a drink unless they said the whole phrase.
Stop it now. You made people call you that.
God's chosen vessel.
Oh, you think he wouldn't? He'll make people call him anything.
Funny.
Yes, they absolutely will. My heaven's sakes alive. What story did we leave off on? Was it yours? Was yours? Got it. Well, this little story, and I think it's already made the rounds on various news services. However, you know what I am finding out about us? I don't know. It's because we find our stories later in the day that people have posted previous. We are always ahead of the news services on stories.
Yeah.
I always find that we talk about a story and then like the next day or even the next day after, CNN finally gets to it or ABC
awesome.
or whoever.
Amazing.
I think it's interesting. I think it's because we get it late in the day.
Sure.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But
I think it's because we're brilliant.
Or we're fucking amazing. Your
That's
Majesty.
right. Your Majesty.
Where's my goddamn drink? Oh, he's making me a drink. Perfectly realized. Well, let's go all the way up to the eastern part of the United States to West Virginia. Batman and Captain America. Well, they just so happened to be in the neighborhood at the time of a house fire, and they saved some cats. They saved some people. Oh. They really did. They saved them. Oh, what did I call the goddamn story? Hang on. What did I hate? I hate when I do this to myself. I forgot. Oh wait, where's that? Oh gosh, Al's still making me a drink. Oh, here we go. Got it. This is the story of the. I'm glad I can edit all this shit together. Fuck me. Here we go. Superheroes saving cats.
Superheroes are all over the big screen, but very rarely do we see any real ones. But in Milton, West Virginia, 2 men dressed as Batman and Captain America were real-life superheroes for one lucky cat. John Buckland, playing Bruce Wayne, is in charge of an organization called Heroes for Hire. Participants dress as superheroes and teach lessons to children. And while working an event across the street, Buckland, an ex-firefighter, smelled smoke and then
So he breaks out that window, some of the smoke relieves, smoke layer goes up a little bit more, go back in, it's getting pretty dark. I'm feeling around, and I'll be darned if I feel something furry.
After Captain America broke the window, Batman pulled this cat out of the burning house and gave it mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And while that's heroic, Batman says he's a little worried the cat could have some nightmares coming its way.
You got resuscitated by Batman. That's a pretty scary thing to wake up to.
Buckland told reporters that while the costume made this whole situation that much better for the rest of us, it also helped protect him from the flames when he entered the building. Luckily, the family who lives at the house in Milton was out of town during the fire. For Newsy, I'm Jamal Andrew.
Poor kitty cat was saved by... The video, if you want to, you can Google that story about superheroes saving the cat because they're actually standing there in costume, which was kind of funny to see them. They're doing that. Well, Al, what have you've made something for
There's
Marn.
a lot happening.
And I appreciate that
You
it's in
are cracking me up.
I appreciate that it's in a mason jar.
Right. I also do.
Jesus Christ, how much crown do I need in that?
I want to make two of them. Oh, this.
Is there Diet Coke in there? Jeez, I'm going to have to go. I feel like I need to
I
mix it.
if you pass a straw, I'd love to have a little taste. A little tasting room, actually.
We got a
here.
blender. We can
Her
still...
Majesty. Is that what that was? Yeah.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
On a bendy straw.
I think that's going to change the world.
Oh,
It
really?
could change the world.
What is in
It
that,
could.
Alfred? What is in that? I saw Kahlua.
Oh my God!
Is that the chocolate tequila?
It's got. Oh, I was kitchen chemist in there.
Oh,
that's
really good.
That's a white Russian that went through Mexico and swimmed his way through
Swimmed?
Puerto Rico.
It's a Russian Mexican.
It is a white
Fucked
Mexican
a cow,
Russian.
little cream pie ending.
You are a sick master.
Your Majesty.
Let's see how this tastes.
Your Majesty, the cow died happily.
Oh,
I could tell by
Lord.
the cream pie.
Oh, hentai.
Ooh, my God.
That's what she said.
Did we figure out what
If
that
there's
meant?
a hentai, then yeah, you know it's probably a cream pie.
Did we
It's
figure
weird. It's like it's a very
Vague term for like
Japanese
really fucking dirty
perversion.
Japanese people.
It's just perversion.
Donnie, are you there?
Bart
Okinawa,
Simpson,
if you're in the
Bart
house.
Simpson was fucking Marge. That's all I know.
Yeah, it
and
was
that's
cartoon
troubling.
Bart doing
Yeah.
his mom.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
So for reals,
Hentai.
people, if Donnie, if you're out there, we're gonna need you to come back and show us a little of that. I'll volunteer to go first. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Wow. Okay.
Your Majesty.
Your Majesty.
A date has been set.
Yes. Marnie,
love
go
it.
right ahead, darling.
I love it. Well, did she do it?
Oh no! Come on, hold on. We have to interrupt. Jeffrey emptying the booze closet. This is Clayton's house.
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
practically
That's
the
true.
Costco of liquor. I found a shelf in the bottom of your fridge that may or may not have backup bottles of Crown Royal to
Yes,
last
my
us
little-
through a hurricane.
Well, yes.
I like
Just in
little. I
case.
like that the word little was
Wonder
going to be
when
in
a
that.
Hurricane Clyde comes aboard.
And actually, what I
upon us.
do is I take the baby bottles and I fill the bigger bottle out.
Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, because I like the ones with the handle.
I get all the minions in the one big bottle.
I like it.
I do.
I like,
I like it a lot.
I mean, it's already a
God, I want to
blended.
drink more of that.
It's already a blended Canadian.
There's all the ingredients are still around.
Really good.
And we can make it a
We can
smoothie.
share.
Yeah.
So
I know.
you'll feel like you're healthier.
Seriously.
Put some protein powder.
Because I
in.
thought
Sure.
maybe a story better than a dead cat was coming along, so I didn't use the blender. But that blender was calling to me the whole time I was doing that.
Well, it's right there in
And
the
then-
kitchen.
Is
and
there,
there's
is there
one-
ice cream? Because I think ice cream might
Yes,
send
there
that
is ice
fucker over
cream.
the edge.
Oh my
Yep, there is.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
This is the high caloric version of this show.
Skim
Okay.
milk. Skim milk.
I know. Oh,
Look how
yes.
j'accuse.
Yeah. Skim milk and Kahlua.
How
I like
dare
it.
you?
Yeah.
Let's get the bottle of
work.
Kahlua and figure how much the calories are in that bitch.
It's
No,
coffee.
that's not.
It's
Little
just
sugar.
coffee. Kahlua
Yeah.
doesn't have calories.
Little sugar.
I don't know.
Shit.
I have no idea.
Go ahead.
I can't back that
Little
up with
sugar.
any kind
Tell
of facts,
you-
Your
Marty,
Majesty.
I'm
Tell-
going to change it around a little bit.
Tell your story.
Well, she's a cunt.
Ooh.
I love it when you start.
we
I
made it
love
like
it when you
72
talk
minutes
about
in.
Al like that.
I know.
Who's
Your
the C
Majesty.
word?
Your Majesty, the cunt.
Sir or ma'am.
You're going to be shocked. Jan Brewer.
Oh. We're bringing it home, Marnie.
Did not see that
Bring
coming.
it home.
Bring it
I
home.
know,
The classic
I know.
cunt.
Did
I
not
know.
see that coming.
Well, and this is a little bit older story, but I found it because there was something.
Well, she's
they
a little
were-
bit older woman.
Well, she's a cunt.
Just say it.
The end.
Okay,
She'd probably like that drink, though. I think that's how she and I would get along.
They were talking about her on Fox News, and
They
you
were.
know,
I mean, seriously,
Singing her
About the-
praises.
if they could
Singing
lick,
the
if they
praise-
could lick her, they
and
would.
that the Jets front line
They'll eat her for breakfast.
they need a new offensive coordinator, and they should make it Jan Brewer because she can keep everything out from like defense, blah blah blah.
I
Oh,
want to
hate-
literally
hate
kill
them.
all of them.
I hate them.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had printed this a long time ago, and really, she's just a cunt. Do you guys remember seeing that whole it was, I think, The Onion that put out the fake story about gay to straight programs in the
schools. Yes, we talked about that a few weeks back.
Could you, with tying it in and looking at this whole offensive line, and she's just offensive is what she is. And the idea that people were still talking about this. Someone in Minnesota was curious if this was real. And I thought, that's a fucking shame. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, there was a story that came out that Brewer was putting gay to straight programs in Arizona schools. Tons of people fell for this because it circulated online, but they wouldn't put it past her. And the fact that that kind of stuff, The Onion comes up with some good stuff where you look up, but this truly was believable.
Absolutely.
That, when she was campaigning against Terry Goddard in 2010, her top advisor, Chuck Coughlin, suggested she was going against Terry Goddard, that Goddard was gay. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, I actually don't remember that.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Because he was supportive of the gay community.
And it's not the first time.
Sure. But
it's insane.
The demanding, you may recall that she was opposed to gay marriage and signed a law to end benefits for domestic partners of state employees. So all of this led to this being completely believable. The idea was that school children would be taught, where was it in here? That they would basically have classes on becoming straight. And like go through this whole day, basically, all their days would be about that. It's not something that demanding gay school children be taught how to be straight is not something she's even considered publicly at this point. So the fact that it could have been there and fake. It could have been done. It is fake.
It was.
But it made all the rounds.
Right.
Yeah, because I thought I had a kind of
over that. I thought I had a different article that had something else in it.
The news stories didn't pick it up because they were fooled once by this site.
But it was all over social media.
Oh, it was all over social media.
That.
And I remember, and Joshua Tomlin, who donated to my AIDS walk, W510667, if you feel like giving.
Just look up Alfred Perkins, you'll find him. He's number 2 in the leaderboard now.
Number 2.
Yeah.
We'll tell that story in a minute.
Cheating. So Josh Tomlin was all about, I hope you, because Josh loves her.
Yeah.
So he's like, I hope you retract this story. I'm like, you know what, there's enough horrible shit about this woman that we don't have to retract the one that's actually not true.
Right, exactly. Well, and this was, it's a different quote that I found before, so with tripping over it, but it's her quote was, I think that it will be an amazing opportunity for gay children to finally learn who they truly are for once in their lives. Can you imagine how much more productive these now straight children will be, not always being bullied or wondered why God made them defective? What we have done here today is monumental. I can only hope and pray that other states will follow suit.
Now,
and that's her supposed quote.
Right, which is not...
it's not true.
She would never say that publicly because there would be pitchforks and fires.
She would be like that crazy Asian from Texas where she got a little drunk, said it in her office, and somebody leaked it.
Yeah, the one about the transgendered meeting.
Yeah.
Somebody say that I had to Google it, so if this comes out,
Right, yeah. How much more time do we have with that miserable bitch? Brewer?
She terms out in 14.
Oh, we've got, there's just another year. It's just another year. No, is it November of next year that she's at, or is it January 1 of 15?
And I don't think she has, the political clout because of what she did with Obamacare, that I don't think anyone's looking to.
The Repubs won't.
No, because they don't like her, because she backed Obamacare. She went all in with Obamacare.
Oh, that's right.
Well, she repealed it first.
Yeah.
She repealed
and then
a whole
realized
bunch of,
the whole thing, and then she implemented it.
Oh, then
and then re-implemented Medicare, Medicaid,
right?
Oh, but
for the lowest income and the elderly. So she really didn't do anything great. She stripped it and then put it back, which made me crazy about how all of my, or like a number of Democratic friends, or left-leaning friends, or gay friends, people that generally wouldn't support her, were like, "Go, Jan Brewer, go!" And I'm like, God, I hate all of you. I just.
Yeah. But it really was. But the way she went all in was, she said she would veto until they passed that. She vetoed everything that came across her desk.
And she did.
She played hardball because she knew she was out of office.
Yeah, well, she's a bee.
Because a lot of people, like Bloomberg, a lot of people go in and they do that thing to petition for one more term and say...
But she can't have another term.
No,
but I'm saying
she has been trying.
But she has been trying, but she lost all of her clout.
Because she overtook Napolitano's term.
Right, but I thought that they had said...
They
did. But they said it about Bloomberg, and Giuliani termed out on September 11th. That was the election to get rid of him. not the election to get rid of him, but that was election day. So I mean, and I don't know who won the New York City mayor.
That was election
I'm sure
day.
it
was election day.
I'm sure you can Google it.
It's election day today. It's whatever it is, the second Tuesday in
it is. So
September.
So
is
today
election
would be
day.
it. Today would be it.
In
New York City.
New York. So that's where Wiener is on the ballot.
Yeah, but I don't think he's got a chance.
Well, no, but I'm saying it's the day of the Wiener.
No, but that
could be
right.
The fact that she's still in the public eye at all, being Jan Brewer, it just amazes me that here they're talking about her and using references that she's done such a great job with keeping the Mexicans out, and so therefore she should be the offensive coordinator for the. And I heard it and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna knock somebody's ass out. Like it drives me nuts.
Ooh, Marnie Reiner, Her Majesty, threatening violence.
Your Majesty,
going
whomever I am, or whomever I am.
Get you some.
Right.
Hey, Donnie.
Oh, Donnie's here?
All you gotta do is wish for it and Japan comes on board.
Hentai.
Oh, Donnie.
It's not a Japanese greeting, trust me. Don't walk around town.
It could be, but please don't use that.
There is a story that I read, and I've not read through this entire story, but I figured we'll talk about it a little bit later. Don Lemon, who is an opening, he came out. He's on CNN. He's an anchor on CNN.
Oh, and drives Tyler crazy.
Very, very. I would even venture to say a beloved anchor. He's all over the place. He goes to a lot of different things, and he pulls no punches in regards to what he believes in and how he stands up for things. And there was a story that came out today that's entitled "Don Lemon Isn't the Enemy," and the story is basically in regards to how he stands up and actually speaks out against his own, basically his own race, and how he says basically one of the quotes that he said was, in painting with a broad brush with black people, was pull up your pants, quit having children out of wedlock, and get your shit together.
Yes.
Is basically what he said, and he's come under fire for a lot of the things he said because he's not hiding what he's saying in regards to all these things. Again, I haven't read the whole story, but I thought that would be something that we could later on in the show, when we've had enough booze, we could talk about that a little bit.
And there's an interesting thing, and it goes.
And by the way, I am not saying it. I am quoting what he said in reference to
now,
that. But I think that about everybody. I mean, for God's sakes, everybody, pull your fucking pants up.
Yes.
Quit tatting Pearson and doing all the shit.
Stop being stupid.
Put your head on straight and just fucking work for a living, and like everybody else does.
Oh yes,
I agree. If you shortcutted your way into the documentary about the Freedom Riders by seeing The Butler, perfectly acceptable way to get there. But if you've seen the documentary about the Freedom Riders, they insisted shirt and tie, skirts for the ladies, dress for who
Success.
Be respectable.
You dress for how you want to be treated, and it was a very important part of.
Sorry,
I didn't want to get up twice, so I got y'all drunk. Your Majesty.
Your Majesty. Okay.
But isn't that kind of a funny thing that now it's like controversial to say that when that was a part of the Freedom Riders? If you want to dress sloppily or look slovenly,
get out.
This is not your dream. Like we are going to make sure that when we are arrested, we are in shirts, ties, skirts, looking
so they know who they're
presentable.
arresting.
Right.
But
so that
you know who you're coming down on.
There's no backlash of like, well, they look like vagabonds.
Right.
They look homeless.
Sure. No.
So it's that counterpoint, and it's devil's advocate. You should be able to. I mean, I dress like a slob.
Yeah, but in the
I'm
50s
white, so I get a couple
60s,
passes. You know what I mean?
But in the 50s and 60s, if you take a look back, for instance, my mom graduated in 1966, and you take a look at all of her pictures from the senior year and this and that, everybody's dressed up. Like that's just how everybody dressed. So I don't know. Am I?
No, you're way off base, and that's the point to this.
No. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
But they were saying like you can't dress like farm. At the time, it wasn't like rappers. It was like you can't dress like country folk. Like we need you dressed up as business people.
Right.
Not Sunday church clothes. Like just business
normal
attire.
Like presentable.
Right.
Okay.
And respectable. And
that's mildly racist. No pimp fancy.
What I
But this was the 60s, not the 70s, so I don't know what pimp fancy looked like.
But it seemed like everybody had like the white shirts and the skinny ties, and
Marnie,
everybody did.
I also would like to comment that
and cut your so the big thing would be then cut your hair. Like don't look like the Beatles. Don't do the new trend. Don't do the big
froze.
Which was 70s.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm on board with that. I was thinking about this just today when I was looking at this really, really sad People of Walmart video. Yeah.
It's always fun to watch, though.
That is still a good
was.
time.
It was a really,
Terrifying.
really classy, good time 4 minutes of my life.
I saw
that
it.
was not
Terrifying.
wasted. I mean, I
Terrifying.
enjoyed it very much. But I'm watching this video and I'm going, this is America. This is America.
Mm-hmm.
This is America. And I saw lots of foreigners over the weekend, and there was one point when there was
Disneyland.
this,
Of course you were.
Yeah.
There was this people directly in front of me was a French family, and directly in back of me was the most obnoxious white trash, big fat.
So a lot of cigarettes.
Wearing tiny little clothes, 18,000
Honey boo-boo.
kids, real greasy, really a whole hot mess of family behind me. And I'm judging silently, but I'm trying to be
Now
really
you're doing
nice.
it out loud.
Yeah. Well, now I'm doing it out loud.
Just in case you didn't realize.
While I was there, I was like, "You guys are disgusting."
Yeah.
But I'm watching this family in front of me who is very, very, very clearly talking about them, but in French, so we don't totally know. But they're pointing.
Bonsoir.
No, they don't
Mona
know.
fucking me. Blah, blah,
They don't know, but
look
they're
awful.
pointing, and
Get
I'm
you,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, and I'm watching them, and I can see the body language and the looks and the whole thing, and I'm like, oh my god. Europeans fucking hate us, and here's why. And then I started thinking today about the way that when I was watching the People of Walmart video, that was not an acceptable way to present yourself when our parents were growing up, and it was just not acceptable. You didn't go out of the house with your fucking gut hanging out over your pants and your t-shirt too short to cover it, and you didn't go out of the house with your ass hanging out of your shorts when you weigh 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And not even the
Actually,
size
when you weigh
thing.
100 pounds and your vagina's
That's what I'm
hanging
saying.
out of your...
Not even the
you're
size
like,
thing,
what?
but if you're 100 pounds, you didn't go to the house like greasy,
Right.
and just hanging out of every piece of clothing. And it makes me feel sad that that's acceptable. And that's how people leave the house.
And now perfectly size appropriate. Well, they were skinny, but
You're
size
right, and I
appropriate
shouldn't make
people-
size
No.
an issue, but on People of Walmart it is.
No, but then you just dress for the size you are. Drew
Sure.
Carey, large man, always dressed
Was.
appropriately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now he's thin.
Now he's real
but
thin.
can dress for his weight. It
Yeah.
looks appropriate. But we were at that rooftop screening of The Warriors in L.A. and it was cold. It was legitimately. You know, LA has that thing that we don't have where it's not hot 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's hot in the daytime, but then very cool
Yes,
at night.
yeah.
And we were on a rooftop and it was chilly. Like we had brought a blanket to cover up with. I had a jacket on. Like it was cold. I only packed short. I forgot my pair of jeans because it was, that kind of thing.
It's LA.
But I had my shorts on and I was legitimately cold. And then these girls are coming around in like short shorts. Like
It's cold.
Why
out.
I
bother?
should be able to see the sideburns on your thighs, kind of thing.
It's cold out.
Right.
And I said to
Stop.
Harrison,
Your
I'm
Majesty.
like, Your Majesty, why would you, it's not weather appropriate for that outfit. Like, you can still be cute. And Harrison was like, in LA, if you're not naked, you're nobody. Like, they just, and I'm like, that's exactly what people think of us. Like, there is no reason to dress like that for a nighttime event where, we're looking at something else. You will never be the center of attention.
Right.
Because we're watching a movie screen. So no one's going to look at you, but you're in the shortest short shorts on a particularly chilly night.
And so it's any people, it's any size, it's any, but it's just like, people feel like people just present themselves so
And
poorly.
a friend of, I know two of us, possibly four of us, when I met him at a party years ago, it was a New Year's Eve party. It was a fun party in someone's beautiful home down in the historic district. And it was just lovely. And it was a little bit dressier than I was expecting, certainly. But I had gone out and bought something new, and I had pants and a shirt on. It was almost a jacket occasion, like almost formal enough to be a jacket. And I was kind of feeling a little self-conscious that I had only worn a dress shirt and pants because I was a Ann Guest.
Right.
As I like to tell people,
right.
I'm Ann Guest. That's a joke from me and Renee.
That's
Ann
very
Guest
cute.
here, Your Majesty. So I'm standing next to the fire. It was a chilly night, so the jacket could have even been just an overcoat or something because it was January or December 31st.
Right.
And a very cold night. So I'm standing by the fire, and this guy, and he's very attractive. He's got a nice body, and it's all he ever talks about is how attractive he is and how nice his body is.
Lord.
He walks up to me, and he's like, oh my God. He's like, I didn't realize how formal this was going to be. And he's in torn, very expensive, but torn jeans and a t-shirt. I'm like, but you did know it was winter because that didn't start today. But he's in a tight t-shirt with something stupid written on it, like look at my tits or something completely inappropriate. And I was so taken aback because I'm like, no, this is when you walked in, I know where you live. Like, I know where this guy lives in comparison to the house. Turn around.
Right.
And go put on a different shirt.
Right.
Like, the torn jeans are expensive enough, and we all
understand.
Everybody's a label whore that we're all going to forgive. But the tight T-shirt, and it was seriously maybe 40 degrees at the day. It was like one of those really cold for us.
Oh, that's so bad.
New Year's Eve.
Yes,
And
I hate it.
Feel free to text me that name of who that was.
Seriously.
Likewise.
I'll
All
enjoy
of
that.
us. Yeah.
Oh,
Me
we
too.
need to know
Yeah.
that. Sure. I think at this point we've wrapped up enough headlines, and I think Al's just itching to get to his entertainment segment. So I think we'll start it probably now.
I like it.
Entertainment! I always need like one more second warning because it's another page. Well, it really is Film Festival because, as we all know, September 11th means the Toronto Film Festival just happened.
Okay.
Let's see. Jason Bateman gets good news out of this. 20th anniversary of X-Files. Reviews for Osage Orange County are out. I bitch about the fact that somebody wrote something that I already said. I started a half a page too low.
In entertainment.
My favorite of it is I bitch about. Say that again. I bitch about.
The fact that somebody... Okay, now I'm a couple weeks behind because of my long vacation and the fact that I really never read anything when I was on vacation. Because usually I would stop in a store and get the Entertainment Weeklies that were delivered to my house whilst I was gone.
Right.
Never had that opportunity.
Okay.
Anytime I was in a train or a plane or a pedicab, I was sleeping.
Right.
Because I'm like, this is the much needed rest I've been craving for the rest of the trip. So I never read anything. So I'm still like 2 weeks behind on Entertainment Weekly. My whole long harangue last week about the fact that all these movies with black casts and black directors are doing so well and are getting so much Academy attention and film festival attention.
Right.
Oh, turns out when I read 2 weeks ago's Entertainment Weekly, it was a whole article.
So anybody listening, but he just read that.
Right, no. So I just want Entertainment Weekly readers. I did not see that till after I went on that rampage.
Plagiarize.
That was mine. You could say they stole from me, but we go to those people. Those fuckers go to press. You can die on Tuesday and you can be dead in my mail on Friday. I don't know how they manage it. They got some kind of. They're in cahoots somehow. Okay, so now the film festivals. Now Telluride ended, which is non-competitive. Toronto is competitive. And they make sales. The big thing, and this is film festival season, and we all learned from American Beauty in the year 2000 that you do not make Oscar talk till Toronto has ended. You just wait.
Is this the first one?
Is
this the first like Oscar-y film festival?
Yeah. This is the one because Cannes too early. Cannes comes too early. Robert Redford's in Park City. What's that one called? Sundance. Is all about selling the movies, and that's become way too commercial. And there's a big backlash against that it's too commercial, and you know what I mean. It's all too ritzy. But
when's the Tribeca?
That feels really like
Tribeca. That's the one.
Dippy.
Yeah. That's the one in
that's
response.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, that's the one in response to September 11th to get people back to downtown.
Okay, so is this? That seems like a really hipstery kind of a thing.
Robert De Niro just.
But it's taken
he's
off.
So New York, and was like after September 11th, he's like, we need to bring people back.
So he started the Tribeca Film Festival,
and so Tribeca
and I can't remember the actual time of year that is. But
I thought it was
the
around...
one time I was in. I've been in Tribeca many times, but the one time somebody brought me in, they're like, okay, now we're in Tribeca. We're going to go to this little diner that a lot of people go to, and they're like, we're probably going to see somebody from a Martin Scorsese film, Marty to his friends, and or His Majesty,
or if you will.
No.
And Harvey Keitel walked like the bubble.
Stop yourself.
The sentence bubble was in the air, and Harvey Keitel like
that's
walked
amazing
and sat down next to us. It was very funny.
P.S. We see famous people every time we go to California. This time it was just a reality star, but it happened.
Who was it?
Yeah.
She was from The Bachelor. I don't actually know her, but Kelly loves her. I'm sure Aaron would have been impressed.
Probably.
Anyway,
you don't have any recollection?
Yeah, no, it was Melissa, the girl who got booted out by Jason, and then she got chosen by Jason, and then booted by Jason, and then remarried. And then got remarried to this guy Ty. Then she did Dancing with the Stars. Then she had a reality show.
Melissa.
I think Melissa?
No. I think you might be wrong.
Anyway, now they have a cute daughter, and they were there, and they cut in line in front of us.
Sorry. Did they hire somebody with a wheelchair? Because that's the new thing at Disneyland.
By the way, I know it's not a new thing. That's where you were going.
It's not a new thing. It's a fucking, but it is real popular.
Yeah, and that's not a new thing.
The last time I was there,
I'd probably break my leg before I got there. Just pretend.
Just pretend. The last time I was there, I was like, is there a line for people that don't have a handicapped child? Because I'm waiting.
Yeah, seriously though.
But then we went to Magic Mountain, and I called that the place where nobody loves their children because those rides are fucking terrorizing. And there's nothing about imagination. It just flip the kid upside down and hope he doesn't puke or break his neck. So, anyway,
sorry, it didn't interrupt, but yes,
No.
California famous people, we love it.
So 12 Years a Slave, which I talked about from the Tell You Right Film Festival, that everyone was like, wow, 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 this is the movie to beat with, oh, Jesus Christ, I never have his name ready at the drop of a hat. But anyways, it opened in the Toronto Film Festival, and they went ape shit.
Oh.
And
Wait, for what movie?
12 Years a Slave. We talked about it last week, and now we'll do, and I don't know why this.
Here's the thing. I totally listened to you last week. Maybe I didn't. But
I feel like I listened to you also, and I do not remember this.
I know, that's because you're really not listening. That's all I talked about last week.
By the way,
was 12 years.
Hey, we were getting cake ready, maybe.
We were getting cake ready.
During his
That's exactly. Thank you.
Boom.
Thank you.
That's why.
Because I was like, I fucking listen to Al.
you.
And even if I'm doing something
His
else,
is
I'm
my most
always
active
listening.
participation.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even though I'm doing something else, I'm always listening. And I thought, I don't remember a goddamn thing about that. Not even a
So
little.
12 Years a Slave,
Good
and now I'm
call.
going to go back. This is going to take a little jumping because the one feature on my iPad the last couple of weeks has been fucking with me, and I'm going to have to do something about it soon. Anyways, so 12 Years a Slave, and I just have to do this right because I always mess up this man's name, and I truly enjoy him. His name is Steve McQueen is the director.
I thought Steve McQueen died.
He is dead, but this is the director. Oh my God! Please let me get his name right because somebody helped me last week. Okay, here it is. Chiwetel Ejiofor. Excellent,
You're right.
excellent actor. Dirty Pretty Things was the movie I brought up last week. That if you have not seen Dirty Pretty Things, turn off the show and go watch Dirty Pretty Things. So they are calling this Steve McQueen's Schindler's List, and the reviews have been raves. And last week I was a little confused because I was confusing two actors, and it turns out they are both in it. I was not sure. And we need Joe again because the one guy's name from Star Trek I cannot keep in my head, but Michael Fassbender is also in it.
Oh God, what's his name?
Benedict Cumberbatch or something
Yes,
like that.
that's it. That's actually it.
Yeah.
That's actually it.
I always feel like I'm describing a sex position when I say that.
That's something that
cummerbund.
Alabama loves.
Sex be chambliss.
Alabama.
So, since even the people in the studio were not listening, I'll update you that we're saying like Octavia Spencer for Fruitvale Station is pretty much a lock for nomination.
God, I love her so much.
Oprah Winfrey for the win. Now,
oh, you think she's for sure for the win?
that's done. That
Wait,
speech is
so
written.
now you just said
can't wait to
Octavia
watch.
Spencer
She's a nomination.
is going to go up against Oprah.
Yes, and
how fucking cool is that?
But,
I mean,
no,
really.
but that seriously,
She's gonna
mark
lose.
my words. I said it about Anne Hathaway last year, and all I saw was the preview for Les Mis, and I said Anne
She's
Hathaway's
got it.
Oscar.
We're
fucking
Oprah's
done.
winning. I'm excited.
No, that race is over.
I'm excited for her to because has she won an Oscar? Did she win Color Purple?
No.
But
Color Purple, 12 nominations, no wins, holds the records for most nominations, no
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes. Good.
Why the fuck wouldn't you change your name?
I would.
I mean,
Seriously.
Engelbert Humperdinck, for God's sakes. What
So
Such an
Chiwetel
issue.
Ejiofor, please watch for him. And from what I'm hearing, this race is over. I have not seen the movie.
Wait, for who? I'm sorry.
For 12 Years a Slave.
Oh.
The best actor race is finished. Just give him the envelope. Call it a day. Brad Pitt's chances for he's the producer. This is his proudest moment, and he said he could be done making films after this.
Oh,
because
shut up, Brad Pitt.
I do recall
No,
hearing
he
that
said this
story.
is his proudest moment. He has the interviews and the raves for this movie. Seriously, in this way, you can't tell me in 3 months when I talk about this movie, I never heard of that before.
No.
The raves coming out of Toronto for
I don't
this.
think I speak like that.
Yeah.
Now, can
Your
I
Majesty.
go watch this?
No, it's not out yet. It's just doing film festivals.
Got it.
And now the point of
Unless you
Toronto
go to Tribeca.
for the last 13 years, I can't
my
remember
God,
when
and
Tribeca is. I think
Well,
it is the
look at
fall.
that woman.
She's in it.
She's in it.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, and
Look
there
at that,
she's getting a
stunning
lot of
woman.
Oscar
She's
buzz.
beautiful. What is she?
She's a model, I think.
Right, but what
Yes.
is?
She's in 12
has
Years
she-
a Slave.
No, dumbass.
I don't think she's been in anything else.
Nothing else.
No.
Okay, because
I don't
she's
think so.
very
Large sweater.
What
striking.
they're saying though
Big
is
sweater.
best
I feel like
supporting
she's a
actress
model.
could possibly be 3 women of color.
Oh,
like
I
honest
love
to God,
that.
like
I love
like
it.
that's what they're saying. Like, and if you weren't getting cake last week, you would know. Like
Right.
the big deal is.
But listen, bitch.
That sounded like
Are
a
you
slam.
trying to call us fat?
No, but it was the cake was delicious.
Seriously, right.
So, anyways,
Well
I
done.
cannot
Thank
go
you,
on and
Katie.
on. So, whenever 12 Years a Slave opens, and I don't think because the buzz is so
This
good,
girl
they're gonna.
is so gorgeous.
I don't think they're gonna wait for Christmas. I don't think they're gonna do this as a Christmas release.
Okay.
I think they're going to roll it out
Nyong'o.
slowly and have it be building momentum as it goes.
Now, Clayton, just out
Sir.
of curiosity, or ma'am,
Ma'am,
or
either
your
way.
majesty.
Your
Her Majesty. Sorry.
Now, did you say big sweater?
Yes. That was a very big sweater
It
she
was
had.
a very big sweater. Now, I don't know if you noticed over here, but that's the trend. You wear everything really big. You're tiny underneath. And you wear everything really roomy.
It's super
really what it is.
fashionable for fall.
Right. It's fall fashion.
Fashion for fall.
Wear everything really roomy, and you're really tiny underneath.
Yeah, people ask you, have you lost weight? So
Yeah.
now the other thing that's going around, and I have to change sites.
Okay.
Let me just.
So everybody bear with me while I look this up. And this is one of my favorite directors, so I have to
least
get
that's
to
what
it.
I heard.
Sandra Bullock. And now I guess, okay, it's going to come up real. Thank God IMDb prioritizes. This director's name is Alfonso Cuarón, and I'm going to Google him because
If it is this movie you're talking about, I can't watch it.
Why?
If it is, are you talking about Sandra Bullock's new movie with George Clooney?
Yeah, Gravity.
I can't watch it.
Why?
Okay.
Are you
The
opposed to
preview
Clooney?
gives me I need a fucking Xanax for the preview.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyways,
It is like high anxiety.
So this
I thought it was like a Jennifer Aniston.
no, but I'm back on board though.
So this director who did Y tu mamá también, which
Yeah.
I
remember
love
that.
because Gael Garcia Bernal, who I did a film festival with him, and I saw the worst movie ever made, and he was in it. I'm so sad.
God is
Based
my
on a novel
witness, I
Push by
attempted
blah
to
blah
watch
blah blah
that.
blah.
The Loneliest Planet was terrible. Oh no, Y tu mamá también is not the worst movie ever made. That movie is sexy fucking hot
No. What
porn.
I'm saying is, I attempted to watch it.
Yeah, well, it's
And this is what you have stated before, that you fucking hate people and you'll cut them when they say this.
can't
Do we
watch a
have
movie
any
with
knives?
subtitles.
Any knives?
Not in
anywhere?
here. In
Okay,
the other
good.
room.
You don't want to read a
I'll
movie.
block him. No, I don't want to read a movie.
Yeah.
See, I feel like very smart, and I feel really well-rounded when
I'm
I
well-rounded.
do a movie with subtitles. It literally makes me feel worldly.
Amelie,
No, I love
I
it.
wanted to shoot myself.
Because then I feel like I can talk to
That's
you.
happiest movie ever
I know,
made.
but even Amistad. I mean, please, stop.
But I feel like I can then
didn't
talk
like
to you.
Amistad.
Oh, so Lost must have driven you
No.
crazy because Lost was
What was
unapologetic. Lost the TV. Oh,
Oh
fuck
God,
it.
I never watched that.
Oh my God.
But
But
Amistad, I also watched with someone who was deaf. Just to throw this out there as a different thing. So I'm watching Amistad with someone who's deaf. This is the first time.
I miss Buddy.
And I fuck off. And I'm
But he's not deaf.
no.
No, but this is very serious Oscar talk. We're lost in a deaf friend.
No, but have you ever watched a subtitled movie with someone who's deaf?
No, but remember I told you about the guy I was dating that I found out didn't speak English because halfway through the movie
Yes.
I'm like, why aren't you laughing?
Oh,
Yes,
that's right.
That's true.
See, same concept,
Same
except
concept.
this motherfucker was laughing his ass off, and I'm like, this
isn't funny.
Like,
The
wait a
chains
minute.
bind them together, and then
Yeah.
their gravity pulls them down.
This is not okay.
Yeah.
But luckily,
It
for
was
those of you who
really
are always,
troubling.
for everyone who was wondering what that lyric was from Whitney Houston's big song, because the chains of Amistad can never bind us. You know what I mean? Never.
There you go.
That's a thing.
Yeah, the her song.
That's
Your-
a thing?
Your love is my love. And the chains of Amistad could never. That one. That's the line. And everyone's like, what
Shut
is she saying there?
up. I did not realize.
That she's singing about the chains of Amistad.
Did not know that.
Should we Google it?
Changes the entire show.
Yeah.
Your
All right.
Majesty.
Not our show, but other
All
people.
right.
Go
So
ahead.
anyways, Tyler, if you're listening. So
Yeah. One person.
that's all I got now. So Alfonso Cuarón, who did Y tu mamá también, which I love, but then he did Children of Men, which has one of the greatest, if you are a fan of cinematography, one of the greatest shots ever done in a movie is as they're going through, they get her out of the building and down the stairs and into the car and through the town, through the war. It's all one shot. And that's on my list of movies that got no Oscar love. That there was 8 obvious nominations and that movie walked away with 0. And most people are like, I never heard of that movie. Children of Men. Anyways, great director, great director. And now he has Gravity, and they won't play the whole movie at the film festivals. They're just doing teasers even at the film festivals. And this opening shot of Sandra Bullock in space in the incident that starts the movie is people are literally like cinephiles, as I like to call myself, are actually masturbating at the artistry of this opening. I guess it's the opening 15 minutes is all they're showing. It's truly filmed in
Masturbating.
IMAX.
No. Literally holding my breath. Like I thought I was going to pass out. I couldn't
Okay,
breathe.
by the way,
This is
haven't seen a thing. Have you seen
I have no
anything?
idea.
So what is it?
George Clooney and Sandra Bullock
Yeah.
in space, working
Okay.
on a space station, and some
it's her
kind of
first time out there.
some
It's her
kind of
first time in
some
space.
kind of debris comes through and untethers her, and she ends up lost in space, literally by herself. And I guess from what I've heard, she is a lock for a nomination based on this performance and what's going on.
The preview
But they're saying that because the Children of Men thing, I guess everyone was so offended that Children of Men happened. And if you saw that in the theater, you saw it on a really good TV at home, and it's Julianne Moore, I want to say it's the guy whose name Chiwetel Ejiofor. I think he's the guy in it, but I can't remember. It's
he sounds foreign.
Benisnatch.
Oh my God, the really hot
I think that's
guy.
what the guy's name is.
Fuck, I'm so bad with names.
Clive
Owen. No, Clive Owen. Clive Owen is in it, and it's about the Earth. No one has been able to conceive a child for like 2 generations, and the population of Earth is dying. Oh my God! But he makes great movies. Anyways, so this.
But this Gravity. So I'm like watching another movie, and all of a sudden you see Sandra Bullock floating through outer space, and she goes, I'm untethered, and it's her in this giant spacesuit, and she's literally just floating around, and you're like, what the fuck? And she tries to grab onto some string, and she flies away, and this bitch is flying away in outer space.
There's something special about the way that they filmed this, because he wanted zero gravity, so he did some special thing that it looks completely realistic.
Sandra Bullock is panicking, and George Clooney is panicking, and guess what else? You're panicking. Because it is some scary.
So if the planet slows down, does it blow up? Is that what it is?
It might.
It's called space, not speed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes, exactly.
So jokes aside, like,
it's a lot slower than her
other
other movies.
Raves, and everyone is saying that this is where, like, the Oscars and this guy and everybody come together.
Panic City.
And it's
so I have to go see Gravity. Is what I have to.
Yes,
right?
Amazing.
I feel like it's a must.
But you said you can't see it.
Why don't we go to that Esplanade?
Kelly's going to give me a Xanax.
No. Well, let's go to the Esplanade.
But you can seriously tell from just the previews, like how intense, like the previews are so intense. But they're only doing the first 15 minutes, which is very interesting that they're not showing the whole movie. And I guess it has something to do with missing her daughter. I don't know. I'm on pins and needles. Jason Bateman.
Your Majesty.
Your Majesty. Jason Bateman is using all of the good fortune he's had in the last 10 years. He's doing his directorial debut. It's called Bad Words. And they said it's fantastic.
I love Jason
Dirty,
Bateman.
filthy, straight R comedy about an older guy who finds his way into a spelling bee due to a technicality. And they said it's like so profane, so dirty, so filthy, and so funny.
Like a Bad Santa.
Yeah, and exactly like Bad Santa. I want to say the writers of Bad Santa are involved.
I enjoy Jason Bateman. I always have.
I love him.
Yeah, he is adorable.
Is Justine still doing anything, by the way? His
She
sister?
was on Arrested Development.
Oh, she was.
Old.
I haven't seen.
she does
Let me
look
Google her.
Oh, like rode hard, put away wet.
Is Bad Words out yet?
No, it does.
No, none of these are out. They all just played Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Like Toronto Film Festival literally just ended about 12 hours ago.
Oh, my God. And this girl.
I'm so current.
This
no
girl
one keeps
who's
track.
with him in Bad Words. Who's that? Because she's real funny.
She used to.
She's super funny.
Oh.
She's on some show I like.
If only we could Google her. If only there was some.
No, we will. No,
She is.
Listen.
If only there was a way to find out information outside of this room.
Stop it. Wait, I'm floating.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm untethered.
That stresses Katie out.
Stop it. It is. You guys have no idea. Okay.
Wow, she does look bad.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Cow, sauruses.
The years have not been
This
kind.
woman's name is Catherine Hahn. She's been in Anchorman, Step Brothers, Crossing Jordan. Who cares about that? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Also don't care.
Right. So he found somebody that's been in a lot of shitty movies.
Parks and Rec. She's been on that show.
She-
Girls.
now you'll know her from Parks and Rec because nobody watches Parks and Rec, so no, you won't know her.
But yeah,
because I've been trying to get you all to watch Parks and Rec for like 2 straight
Who
years.
has time?
But she's
You know what?
I
tried.
2 minutes.
I watched one.
But anyway,
episode.
she was
It doesn't matter.
She
Apparently.
was the campaign director. I know. I've heard all your excuses. Your
No,
mom doesn't
I-
pay enough rent.
No,
I've heard it all.
Actually,
that's your excuse.
The only one that I saw that had something to do, and this is probably a reoccurring thing. It's like the watching the Batman episode where somebody got in trouble.
Yeah.
Or when last day, who's down the well? I saw one episode they were doing some event in a park and everything was just going terribly wrong with some community event.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's exactly what that show's about.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So, anyways,
I'm caught up.
I'm going to try
me
to
too.
reel
Your
this-
Majesty.
I'm going to try and reel this all in. So, the movie that I've been wondering about.
Catherine Hahn.
Bullshit.
She was just now that woman. In that movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're the Millers.
We're the Millers.
Jesus.
I like
I
that.
couldn't remember
Use
her
your
name.
words, Katie. Use your words. It's radio.
We're the Millers.
Or video.
She
Hi.
was very funny in that. And
She
she's
was in that's where I know her from.
great character actress.
And I feel like
And
Saturday
Jake-
Night Live, but that might be
No,
a
it's not.
She
but
was in something
Jessica,
else.
but Jennifer Aniston and Jason Bateman are really, really close friends. So anytime one of them makes them, like, they use a lot of the same cast because they're very close in real life. That's why they did that one movie just to have fun, The Switch. They only made it. They really didn't care about how, but it's kind of funny. But the main reason is because they were close friends and wanted to make a movie. So they're like, well, we all have money.
Yeah, right.
And there's a couple laughs in that. So the movie that I've been talking about to the 2 people that listen, hi Tyler. We've been wondering. I know you paid close.
Harrison.
He did pay close attention last week while you guys were gone. But August Osage County. I've been waiting for reviews. I know you actually did a question and answer period.
Q&A.
I've been waiting for someone to comment on it. I've been waiting for it to open, and they waited for Toronto. And I'm Meryl Streep, Ewan McGregor, Julia Roberts in the scene-chewing movie of the century. It's kind of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Long Day's Journey into Night, family drama. The play was spectacular and disturbing, and like one of those things that you want a therapist after you see it. It's out, and the review was, who cares if it's a tad bit long? Everyone is at their best. And this is another one, Meryl Streep, and they're saying it seems kind of stupid to just write Meryl Streep is great again, but I guess even by Meryl Streep standards, this is the best that she gets. Okay. This is like her best since Doubt. As the boozing, cancer-ridden, drug-addled mother of a completely dysfunctional family where no one's happy.
True story.
And they said Julia Roberts goes toe-to-toe with her and is at the top of her game. No one's in makeup. People are taking off wigs to give, like, cancer-ridden heads. So I've been waiting for someone to say, like, is this movie as good as the play? Is it living up to the hype? And so the review came out today from Owen, whatever his name is, Owen Gleiberman from Entertainment Weekly from the Toronto Film Festival, and he's like, yes. Like, It doesn't matter if there's a couple loose ends here and there. When you've got some of the greatest actors and actresses at the top of their game, you just show up.
But I have to tell you,
if you say I don't like Meryl Streep, I'm leaving.
I know, I love Meryl Streep.
Actually, he's probably going to punch you and then leave.
No, I love
physical intervention.
love
Yeah,
Meryl
she's
Streep.
amazing.
But you said Julia Roberts in this as well. So Kelly loves Julia Roberts.
I do
like
too.
obsession.
Not obsession.
No,
Yeah.
Kelly loves her and has been obsessed with her for a long time. So one of Kelly's really good friends from childhood, both from Buffalo, I believe, and then both moved to Tucson, and they've remained very, very good friends. Her friend works a job where she interacts with celebrities very, very frequently. On the regular. That's what she does.
On the regular.
For the company that she works for, she interacts with celebrities. She is involved with travel in the travel industry. And she sends, her, it's a little obnoxious. Her Christmas card is like her and every fucking celebrity on their planet. The only reason I think it's obnoxious is because I'm jealous.
Because you're not in it.
You're the
goddamn
Let's
exactly
fucking be
what it
real,
is.
because I'm receiving the Christmas card, and I'm like, and I tell Kelly, I'm like, oh, she's fucking obnoxious.
Well, have I told you we're going to do a Christmas card, by the way?
Oh, no, but I'm excited.
Oh, that's adorable.
I'm in.
sure.
But I literally get
Adorable.
pissed. So anyway, she just sends Kelly this thing and says, I'm with Julia Roberts, and Kelly flips her shit because Kelly's been obsessed with Julia. Now, 2 days prior, this woman sent a picture of her and Brad Pitt. Like, she literally hangs out with the creme de la creme, like A-list. So she sends the picture, and Kelly's really upset, because she's like, oh, I love her so much, and blah, 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 blah. We get the report back. Apparently, now this is the second time that Kelly has heard this, because she had a friend that worked at Maryvale in Tucson, the resort, who said that Julia Roberts years and years ago was a total B, that Julia Roberts is an unkept, just total bitch. She's slobby, she's dirty, she's messy, and
she moved to New Mexico, so no one gets to see it.
Just not nice.
Would you like to be on this show? We could fit her in.
Apparently, and I personally can't totally believe that. But apparently Ellen DeGeneres is the same way.
What?
And that made me want to throw up everywhere.
Wait, like
I have to
dirty?
say, though, on the list of people that I desperately want to go to lunch with that we were talking about earlier, like Goldie Hawn, Dolly Parton, Julia Roberts is on the list because from what I've heard, she is completely not star-like. She's like me,
I know.
just
right,
a complete bum that they force makeup on.
Yes.
And I would,
That's what her friend...
By the way, we'd like to force makeup on you, actually, is what we'd like to.
But that's why I love that she
they said
is
that
married to Danny Mulder.
She bought like 1/4 of New Mexico just to make sure that no one gets to see what a slob
she's like
she is.
Area 51 is what she's got.
And she literally is like really close
exactly.
to Area
and married a
51.
guy that doesn't draw as much attention. So it's not like because she was dating, married
Well, she's
to
a star.
Lyle Lovett.
She's literally a star fucker. She's been engaged to every co-star for like the
you're
first
right.
8 movies.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kelly's friends that knew her at Maryvale was before she married
Jason Patrick.
The guy. Wait, no, didn't she leave Jason Patrick to marry the guy that gave her the
Kiefer
last name
Sutherland.
Roberts?
No,
Kiefer Sutherland.
She left Kiefer Sutherland and ran off with every
Jason Patrick.
Just pull up
That's
IMDb.
right,
She was
Runaway
engaged to
Bride.
every co-star
Yeah.
literally for like
Yeah.
the first.
And
8
Al and
movies.
I are still single, just for the record.
And then married Lyle Lovett. And everybody went,
What?
the fuck?
Kelly had some like check-in receipt because Kelly was so obsessed. Her friends knew that when Julia Roberts left some groom essentially at the altar. It was very Runaway Bride like. She left this groom right before they got married. Went to Maryvale and checked in with some other star that she
that's
started
the Kiefer
dating.
Sutherland, Jason Patrick.
Okay,
story.
and
I forget how young you are. Like this is news.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
no,
That's why I'm like, what?
and
For
it
once,
was
you
though.
forget it, not me. All
Yeah,
right.
no, it was really news for me. And Kelly, we were talking about this like yesterday, and Kelly, the friend had to sign confidentiality agreements as
Right.
an employee there, and it had their names, Julia Roberts,
Whatever.
and whoever else on the thing, and she had to sign it. They signed, and it was this whole like big thing. And then, of course, the friend gave it to Kelly, so that's real confidential. But she had it kept forever, like and kind of in scrapbooky kind of stuff.
Well,
forever.
confidential. You're not divulging anything by saying you had a confidential. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but had their
If you
signatures
cross
on
paths
it.
with Tom Cruise, you have to sign a confidentiality.
Let it go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Carry the one.
back to entertainment. So thank you, Donnie, for paying attention.
Minus the right word.
Yeah. Where were we? All right, so I'll do this story because this story made me laugh, and I like.
Even you don't listen
Wow,
to
you got lost in your own shit. Is what I
That was
know. Can I have
awesome.
can I have a paper
Again,
towel, please?
like
I need
when
some blotting over here.
When this one shows up 2 hours late for an Oscar party, that's when I know that people don't pay attention.
Oh, she doesn't. She's not even invited this year, is she?
No.
Okay.
Am I?
Yeah.
Are we
the
pointing
whole-
at me?
Yeah.
Who else
Hey,
shows up
yeah,
2
no,
hours
it's
late to an Oscar party?
You can be my +1.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
She's
you
not bringing
so
food
much,
though.
Katie Jones.
Okay, so at the Toronto Film Festival, which I would think is, this is pretty much moving up to like 4th place on the award show important events on the calendar, the Christian calendar I'm referring to.
The Gregorian calendar.
So this man, and it turns out this was a repeat offender. A movie blogger, and that's very serious
Much
because
like George Zimmerman.
because yeah, exactly.
Your Majesty.
Neighborhood
That's right.
Watch.
That's right.
And his name is Alex Billington.
Blogger.
Now he's a movie blogger, and if you listen to this show, and I may be your only source of pertinent information, if you don't have cable or get Entertainment Weekly, turns out
you're actually my only.
He's my only.
yeah. So Alex Billington is
afford
taking
any other.
is taking the Toronto Film Festival very seriously, and a person in front of him was texting, emailing on his phone through a screening of something that no one had seen yet. And he kept telling the guy and telling the ushers and telling the management, this guy's on his phone. And now
he's a dick.
He went under the guise of he could be pirating the movie, which is a real fear now with everyone's mobile devices, that these movies will find their way to the public before they're released, and then people won't get paid.
Fair.
And most of these movies hit film festivals. Like, seriously, if you make, like, Superman made $400 million. If any of these movies makes $5 million, that's a big fucking deal.
Sure. It's a haul.
So pirating is a real crime. Not to justify what this guy did. So after he had spoken to everybody, and this was year 2 of this person that was in front of him, he called 911
From the theater
to say that somebody was using their cell phone.
Come
But he
on.
called from his cell phone. But and what he was saying, the movie it's a horror movie called The Sacrament, so it's got at best $40 million. That's all it's gonna make. But he said that he was putting up the good fight. That. Yes, and I sat there and I thought the same thing. There are times when I go to the ghetto to watch a movie, and I won't name the 2 theaters, but we all know where they are. One's at 3rd and Roosevelt, and the other one's up at 19th Avenue in Harkins.
It's my neighborhood. Thanks.
I am sorry. An R-rated movie is not the place for your fucking kids.
No.
I'm not your
No.
babysitter. That kid sits down, shuts up, or I pop at a Benadryl. Here's your choices. Choose wisely, but the Benadryl's probably the best option.
And maybe
then we
I'm
all have a good
the only
time.
one that says it's sit down, shut up, not even an option. It's just don't take your kids.
Don't take your kids.
Don't take your fucking kids to a rated R movie. It's rated R for a reason.
And quite
whether
frankly,
you think
sometimes
it's
a PG or PG-13, just depending.
Yeah.
On the
Whether
age,
you
whatever.
think it's a good reason or not, it's rated R for a reason. Like, try to be a responsible parent.
And we're gonna
Don't
segue
be a
that
fucking dickhead.
we're gonna take
Sometimes
advantage of
you
the no
shouldn't even
interruption
take an adult.
and go to the 20th anniversary of the X-Files, which changed the face of TV, especially for fanboys. I know. You're too young. And that really is too young, because that show came out when I was 24, and that is adult entertainment.
No, my cousin loved it in 8th grade, junior high, 7th grade, junior high. My cousin was obsessed.
Yeah,
And I just
and
never
that's
got
the
into
point of the X-Files, is it was adult TV. It introduced mythology. It's very complex TV with monsters. It was a horror TV show.
Text my cousin right now.
It was not meant for television.
He's gonna be excited.
They made a big deal about the 20th anniversary.
He's gonna love it. He's
a game changer for television. The landscape of television was changed by this show, as far as like Lost, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Revenge, all these shows now that have fringe, that have a mythology, that have a history that doesn't just follow through from episode to episode where you had to know the whole show. Right. They wouldn't get away with Orange is the New Black if they didn't have someone
Well, it was like CSI for aliens.
Right, because they were smart and made it a cop procedural.
Right.
Good.
Yep.
There you go. You're paying attention.
Well,
they made it a procedural with a science fiction bend.
Yes.
But the reason that they have ratings on TV is because of the episode from season 2 or 3, and it's called Home. And the people would watch it and decide how to edit it and if it was appropriate for TV. And she was so traumatized from the episode called Home. Please Google it and watch it. It's available on iTunes. It's available everywhere.
And this is an X-Files episode?
X-Files episode, one of the greatest episodes ever. It's called Home.
Are you talking like Scully had a
No. The woman who watched it, the rating, used to be the ratings
person.
board.
Okay, I'm like, I don't remember.
The woman
that.
at the ratings board seriously had a nervous breakdown, and we got TV ratings out of it because they aired it because no one could decide what the nervous breakdown was doing, so they just aired the episode. And in the review today, they said no one can believe that show ever aired on network television.
But what happened?
I can't tell you. It is the scariest, most disturbing, sickening,
I am
grotesque
gonna watch it
episode.
tonight.
It will scare the. And I remember, I literally almost cried during it. It was so frightening.
Really?
And then I read, and so we got violence. Age. Everything came from that episode of television. So I mean, the landscape of television changed because of the X-Files.
Wait, I just can't agree. I can't believe you.
It's true story.
It's true. The episode Home. If you Google Wikipedia,
Home
on the X-Files.
You were that scared. You like scary movies.
I'm the one that sits on my coffee table with all the lights on, and I wait. The Halloween episode of American Horror Story, I waited till the next day at 4 p.m. so I could be in daylight, and I had all the exits mapped out. And I sat on
911 was already pulled up.
I absolutely know you don't pay attention to me when I talk.
Oh, no, I do. But you also said you go to the scary movies in the theater and you watch that shit.
And I yell at the people behind me when they sit down behind me and tell them they have to sit somewhere else.
Yeah.
But when I watched.
I don't even watch it.
I can't remember what horror movie that was. That I sat on my coffee table, cross-legged, with all the exits.
Oh, I totally remember you talking about it.
Halloween episode of American Horror Story scared the beat. I think you hadn't started. I think that was a buddy story.
I think you're right.
Home from the X-Files.
Okay.
So it's just funny. It's been 20 fucking years.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. And I didn't get into the X-Files at all.
And I have one more short story for Harrison. I have one more short story for Harrison after the break.
Right after the break. It is 9 o'clock. We're coming up. We have one more hour to go.
That was a lot of Jacques Hughes. I'm bitter.
A little bit of a headline just coming in right now. Everybody has conceded. Apparently, the new mayor of New York City is Bill Thompson.
Oh,
everybody has conceded.
Even the cute lesbian.
They get another Republican mayor.
Looks like it's Bill Thompson. Yeah. We'll talk about that and a few more things. Al's got some more. Katie's got some other shit. We have so many things coming up. We'll be back in just a minute. It's the show. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
No, I know.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening once again. The beginning of hour 3 as we go into our final hour of the show. Every week we come to you live from, what is now Studio C, which basically is my house.
Welcome
Basically, it's the East Wing. I have to vacuum regularly because Katie's allergic to cats.
But you are doing a good job.
Thank you. I feel good. I have 78 fucking vacuums. I
would say you have just justified
Every
every minute he has spent dragging a vacuum along that canal.
Week 2, no allergy pill, no allergies.
Atta girl. Very good. Your Majesty. That's good.
Your Majesty.
By the way, if you are just joining us, and I can't imagine why you haven't spent all evening just listening to this show, our drinking word is the phrase "Your Majesty" or something similar.
No, just his or her Majesty is good too.
We'd also like to say hello to people in the United States are all listening. Japan, Donnie, our friend in Okinawa, Japan, is listening. Also, whoever you are in Bahrain. Is that how you say it?
I think it's Bahrain.
Bahrain.
Well, it is Bahrain. So
I think it's just Bahrain. I don't think it's Baja.
I thought it was
Bahrain.
But I don't know.
Just Bahrain.
Hey,
if you're in
Bahrain
like
or
the
Bahrain, if you could
Animaniacs.
let us know.
No, it's
that'd be
Bahrain.
lovely.
I think it's Bahrain.
So if you're listening in Bahrain,
tell us how to pronounce it.
Join us in the chat room. Say hi. Let us know who you are, how you found us, and what the hell you're doing.
I don't believe Katie Jr. at all.
I do because
the only reason I remember is I never heard of the country, but
Animaniacs, bitches.
A friend of ours,
the country song.
Miguel Marquez was the reporter that got beat up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they kept saying it, and they were showing it. They were because he used to work for
The one
Fox
who was
10.
talking during the silence?
No.
Wasn't that the person you were talking about that was like, okay, now it's a moment of silence?
Oh yeah, that was him.
Oh, okay.
That was him. He did talk through the moment of silence.
Right.
Nice.
Because that was ridiculous.
He used to work at Fox 10, so I didn't hear this. I didn't know what they were doing, and they rebroadcast the news at like 2 a.m. when I'm up. And the first time the news is on, I'm too busy to see it. But the middle of the night one, I usually see it, and I'm looking at this thing through someone's window.
Sounds
and
like
looking
home.
at a TV because I stalk neighborhoods.
Comforting.
And they were showing pictures of Miguel Marquez like he was dead. And I was very nervous. So I was like, what are they saying? So I had to Google it, and he got the shit kicked out of him in Bahrain.
Gotcha.
So Katie's going to be so excited. Were you going to talk?
No, just
Are
again,
you going to allow her, Your Majesty?
reiterating, this is the beginning of hour 3. Our drinking phrase is Your Majesty. So have a beverage. If you don't have one, God damn it, make one. This is 75 weeks, and you should figure out by now how we're doing this. Also, Katie June is here, Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins. We've got a few more entertainment things that Al's going to threaten us with. So go ahead, Al.
And I have to say this. But I get this is the start of Oscar season.
Oh,
is the Toronto Film Festival. Like, I wait for this
I know how
day
this goes.
Yeah. So now, and I know secrets because I spend a lot of my spare time reading. Okay, now this is for me and Katie.
Okay. Oh, good.
So you go to your
we
phone.
can go ahead and tune out.
The University of California, Irvine, is offering an online course based on AMC's popular TV show, The Walking Dead. The massive open online course is titled Society, Science, Survival, Lessons from AMC's The Walking Dead. It's free, and it will last 8 weeks, and we're signing up tomorrow. The class will be offered...
I'm actually signing up right now.
So it's taught by 4 Irvine professors from different disciplines. Susanna Bick, Public Health. Oh, these are the names. Social Sciences, Physics, and Mathematics. I was told they were math.
Ooh, that's good.
The Walking Dead provides many poignant case studies related to the scholarly areas covered in the course, and it helps that it's one of TV's most popular shows. There will be something for everyone in this course, which will explore concepts as varied as post-disaster nutrition, the foundations of human survival, and stereotypes in a Darwinian environment. Now, what I think they should do, in all seriousness, and I bring this up again and again for the people that watch, you need to watch, and I don't know what it's really called. Oh, I know it's called... Pretty Much Dead Already.
Your Majesty.
It's not called Sophia's in the Barn like I call it, because that's kind of a spoiler.
That episode?
It's called Pretty Much Dead Already.
Sophia's
I call it the Sophia's in the Barn.
Already in the barn.
Sophia's already in the barn.
That was the
best
That
episode.
was an amazing
And
It was probably one of my favorite episodes.
And then this one is, now I forgot the one that I always know, but it's the one where they meet, where Michonne, Shane, and Carl,
Carl?
Yeah, Carl.
Michonne.
What's
That was awesome.
Rick.
Carl.
go and they meet Morgan, and it's called The Choice, or it's got a one-word
In
title.
the field when Shane
In the
comes
house.
back. Oh.
No, it's where they're in the house. It was from this last
yes.
season. Those are the 2 best episodes. And I could,
that was a good one.
Still one of the funniest things we've ever done in here.
I will not. I'll apologize for Art.
That was a good episode, and they left him, didn't they?
Fantastic.
Morgan. They left Morgan.
So I'm gonna just look that up for my own bemusement.
All right. So wait, this is
Bemusement.
the wait.
USC Irvine.
Okay, my I looked up Irvine University Walking Dead, and my computer's freaking the fuck out.
Yeah,
so
because I'm sure
zombies are
going
outside.
for it. Yeah.
You know what was really funny is while I was with my family in Disneyland, we watched the Disney Channel while we were at the hotel room.
Actually, they just make you do that. You have no choice.
It's like you turn like TV on and it's Disney Channel only, like a few different variations. So we were watching some silly cartoon and I wasn't paying any attention. And I look over and some girl in this little kid's cartoon is giving the boys a lecture on zombie preparedness. And I was laughing hysterically. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this zombie craze has reached Disney Channel. I mean, they are having their cartoons are talking about it. So then I started thinking, this is while I'm in my hotel room, I'm like, zombie preparedness in this hotel room right now. Like, what would I do? Because, the hotel room at, God bless the cute little family.
Not just that, but think of Tsunami. Think of the movie The Impossible, that you're in a beautiful
hotel.
But
I haven't actually seen that yet. And this hotel's not that beautiful. Yeah. But it is, the walls are paper thin. So I'm hearing this. As I'm walking, as I'm like sitting there and I'm like, what if this is fucking zombies? So I start getting crazy.
I just think rats.
No, I started really getting crazy.
Were
and I'm
you
like,
token? Because where is this paranoia coming from?
I wasn't smoking, drinking, nothing. I was totally sober with my child watching the Disney Channel.
She was in Nantucket.
And in my head.
And the Disney Channel slipped in a zombie reference. It all went wrong.
Yes. And I'm like, what do I do? And I literally went into the bathroom.
You do nothing.
No.
There's no zombies.
I went into the bathroom and I looked around at all of my vents, my options, like if I close the door, like what do I do? I'm not kidding. And then
I decided X-Files, that scares the shit out of me because of the creature that came to the vents.
Because it was nighttime. So I was like, hey babe, totally nonchalant, like completely normal. I'm like, babe, let's turn all the lights off and everything. Just in case the zombies were coming by and they came by our room, maybe they wouldn't know. Well, when Rick was on when Rick was on the fucking hospital table in a coma, they didn't smell him. They didn't know. He was like sleeping. It was nighttime.
May I?
What the fuck? I know. This is literally
just
in my head.
Your Majesty, think of it as just a giant metaphor for something else. Because I mean, there's
drugs.
But there's the hospital in Joplin, Missouri.
Very
that got
scary.
like wiped the fuck out, and they're in a zombie apocalypse. They have all these sick people that really don't know what they're doing, and you have to herd them somewhere else. Like there's all these.
It's a tornado.
But they're not dead.
But they're not undead. But they still can't move for themselves. They're still not thinking. You're still moving a herd. I mean, there's all these things where like it's not a zombie apocalypse.
A natural disaster is a far cry from a zombie apocalypse.
But it's an apocalypse. You have to be ready for how do you get out?
Understand?
What's your plan?
But none of these people in that hospital were coming out of a vent.
And if you've ever been at 17th Avenue in Camelback,
they may have been ventilated.
You might need to go into a vent.
However, some of them were shot clear across the city in the bed and landed somewhere and died a horrible death.
And and like Doug Wilkie put this thing on.
There's
a new for Katrina. Now that there's this thing about the hospital for the elderly. I know there was like a hospital within a hospital. Okay. And I know there's different situations around where there's like long-term care attached to like an acute care hospital.
Okay.
And now they want to like make judgments about the nurses and doctors who had no medication, no power, no staff, no running water, doing triage. And there's like
now all these years later.
Yeah, and they've been after this story, but they've been after this story for years, and they can't get criminal charges pressed against them, but now people want to make civil suits.
That's ridiculous.
So everyone's doing it. So this article had that same tone as that pot article from that pot thing, that somebody's going to take a tone with something like, these nurses and doctors were horrible. They gave people morphine and killed them. Yeah, you're gonna die. You're on a ventilator. There's no power. There's no water. There's no staff. There's no medicine. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Somebody gave you 10 milligrams of morphine.
Just so you can fade away.
Thank you very much and die peacefully.
Fade away.
Because otherwise you're gonna be a sweaty, shitty mess. Because guess what's backing up from that toilet? It's not sunshine.
No, no, it's a wave. Not
Your
Katrina.
Majesty, what's gonna come back is gonna be shit. And so this tone, and Doug posted it on his wall as kind of like. You know, Doug with his j'accuse. I love that phrase. I should have made that.
J'accuse.
I'd like to make the statement here now. If I'm ever on a ventilator, if I'm ever in that position, if I'm like beyond
you're pretty
repair,
much dead already. I'll just quote The Walking Dead.
Say pull the plug, but also give me morphine first.
Right? No. And you do have a chance of coming off. It's a temporary. It can be a very temporary thing. But
George Michael was on one, and he's still.
What's the thing you say? I wrote it one time on my refrigerator. My dad signed it. My dad signed mine. I signed his, but it said it was like if I'm ever beyond repair.
Right. And a ventilator doesn't mean you're beyond repair. It just means that you can't breathe on your own.
It means you're a 1966
but I'm just saying, like,
Chevelle or something.
So you're in this situation, and like a couple years ago, remember there was those 2 storms that we had, the perfect storm here in Phoenix, where the one came west to east or east to west, and the one came down 7th Street, and it moved airplanes at Sky Harbor.
Oh,
yeah. And it knocked down all the trees on 7th Street. And
that happened at my house. Yeah.
And everybody lost power, and then the generators went back up.
I lost my huge oak tree.
Well, all of a sudden, you're thinking about your oak tree. Think about the people in hospitals that are relying on power. Like,
such a good point, Alfred.
Like, you're finished. Like, I don't know how to tell you this, but
did a lot of people? I mean, do a lot of people?
No, they didn't, because backup power came on. Sure. It wasn't very long. But you're in Hurricane Katrina. You're on day 7. Sorry, somebody's gonna have to triage you. So this article was written from one of those like shitty points of view, like these hospital workers made terrible choices. No, they triaged you, and Grandma, you're dead. You're 96 years old. You gotta go.
Hard,
you have to talk about the ones. Hard. You have to take the ones who can do it.
And if you ever do disaster preparedness, which they do in different jobs,
I feel like maybe I should just sign up for that class.
Right. It's a fun because it's kind of like the zombie apocalypse.
I honestly
That's exactly what I was thinking. She's signing up for. That is exactly what I was thinking.
But what they do in real life triage, and triage is something from war where they decide like who gets the care. Like, you have the best shot of living. We're not going to waste our time on somebody who's got their neck slit and is
Sorry
missing.
about it.
No, you're done.
You take the best possibilities.
So what they do is they find a way, and they color code the tags, and they just put a black tag on you, and they're like, do not waste this. This one's done. Like, we have to move on.
I hope I'm never that person, though.
Right, but
I mean, I guess if I am, like, let me go.
If
but
you have to choose who's going to live or die, you have to make an assessment of like, sorry, there's no hope.
Can I ask you a totally unrelated but semi-related question?
So, I don't know how we got on this.
I don't know either, but we need to roll
from the apocalypse.
On.
Just really, really quickly, if you're a baby, how do you say, yes, I want to be an organ donor? And I don't mean if you're a baby. I mean if you're a baby or an old person and your organs may or may not be like not viable or in failure, how can you be an organ donor, or can you?
I think the parents make a decision on the infant.
You make
if God forbid something happened to Palmer, I could, of course, we would say she would be an organ donor. But but how do you know that are all of her organs viable?
Oh, they check.
Well, but what if you're like 80 and you die of natural causes? Are any of your organs viable?
Still,
they can take bone, they can take corneas, they can take skin,
any tissue. Yes.
Trust me, they don't just chop somebody up. They test every single.
If you'd like, we can get
thing.
my friend Ryan Nelson from the Donor Network in, and we can talk about that if you'd care to.
Well, I've always thought about it.
They have to call it procuring now. It's not called harvesting.
Harvesting is a little tacky to say that.
I've always thought about someone though, like an elderly person. Like if I live to the ripe old age of 95, but I really want to donate organs, what is still good in my body at 95?
So many things. As long as you're not like cancer ridden. I mean, obviously, if you're dying of liver cancer, we're not taking the liver.
Right, sure.
But some, like he said, corneas are good. There's skin grafts for burn.
And they really do. They check everything.
And they'll take everything they can.
Absolutely. If you donate, they'll everything they can possibly figure out how to use. Absolutely.
That's
good. Yeah. And if it's an underage child, then the parent then you as the parent, and it's the shitty thing about the laws is that Kelly couldn't make the decision.
Yeah, because you shot her out.
You shot her out of the cannon, so you get to make the choice, and you just say like whatever you can use, and then someone like that little girl that was waiting for an organ that was too young, that might be the right organ for her. You know what I mean? Like who knows how those?
Oddly, I don't know. Only related because it's an organ donor story. Our friend, Tyler Kinney. Don't you?
Do.
Tyler Kinney donated
really cool.
a kidney to Jay Crystal's mom because nobody in the entire family was a match.
Friend now, like so many
everybody.
people.
And Tyler was like, well, I'll take the test. Maybe I'm a match. And boom, was a match. They within like days, boom, he's in the hospital. She got a kidney. Everybody's happy.
I never know about living donors, but according to Steel Magnolias, that's a terrible surgery, and that's as far as my knowledge goes.
It did not appear to be a terrible surgery, and I only know that again from Facebook. Kelly actually, and I know Tyler and I know Jay, but Kelly has been working with Tyler recently, and they are back on working terms. Like he literally had the surgery, went home like the next day.
Yeah, like a day or two later, and mom was in like a couple of days.
Mom was in a couple of days, and Tyler had a few restful days at home.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's still resting, but. Really like the most incredible. Can you imagine if your friend is like, I mean, sure, I'll try to see if I can save your mom's life.
Yeah.
And then you're a match.
Wow.
And they went into surgery and his mom, Jay's mom, like wasn't going to.
In a related story, when she gets older, he gets it back.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that. Kidding. Totally kidding.
Why
I was like,
but
wow.
He's got dibs. Yeah.
Yeah,
She
I
goes,
think he
I get
is first.
that back.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can do that, but
It's a great thing to do, and just because you checked it on your driver's license doesn't mean you're automatically. So
You
go to the
have
website.
to go to
Donate Life.
DonateLife.org.
Yeah, go to that website.
well,
and
and
just
plus,
make sure
I've also
and-
heard in regards to like
'cause we all drive cars, so
right,
we're
we
all
all drive
candidates.
cars.
We're
So
familiar with
though
that,
it's
yeah.
though it's on, you can put the sticker on your ID. So because of the haste in which a car accident is taken in, they don't always look at your ID first. So unfortunately, you may be fully signed up to be an organ donor, but if something happens, they ship you off so quickly to do something. Nobody realizes you're an organ donor, even if you have already passed, and sometimes that gets missed.
Yeah.
That's.
So-
I mean, they're
What
and
do
they
they
are
suggest with that?
they
honestly?
are great people.
Put
You
a big fucking sticker
make
on your
sure-
car.
You make sure
Donor.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
like,
you make sure your name's in the database.
You have to be in the registry.
You go to the you make sure you're
So
in the
you
registry.
register.
And then you make sure that
then
you're
that's
And then you follow up.
whoever you're not you follow up, because if you're willing to, if you're able to donate organs, you're not really in the place to go on your computer.
No.
But you make sure that where you're going as a hospital, if you're in a condition like they call it like a Glasgow coma scale, if your GCS is like less than 5, then people have to start calling.
Is that on the menu at
Yeah.
the restaurant?
Yeah, it's
horrible.
It's a
But
restaurant has the craziest
But
menu.
you have to start make sure that your nurse or your doctors are making the phone call saying, we have someone in this condition, start the process, and everybody goes.
So
You get
No, but
as a
time out.
hospital, you get dinged if
Right.
someone died and you didn't call Donor Network first.
right, but when you're saying that, I'm saying like right now or
Then
tomorrow,
you go
as it
to
were.
Donate Life or whatever it is.
And I'm
.org.
already on that, and I'm
Okay.
already
As am I.
everything.
Then
yeah.
your part is done.
I don't think I am.
Okay.
Your part is done.
Yeah. So I don't have to follow up. That's what I was getting at. Like follow up and be like, am I on the database?
No, if you just make sure, and then you make sure that.
Yeah.
Well, you can't make sure because if you're in that position.
Exactly. Yeah.
no,
that's what I mean.
I guess one of the other things that you
Is
could.
anybody following?
But
me?
if you're at the point where you're having a conversation about
no, I mean
that,
like right now. Like, could I call tomorrow and say, hey, I just want to make sure I'm on that database?
No, you go to the
in
website.
Case
Go to the
something
website.
happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is on your
but you
license.
can also call them, and they're
Yeah.
happy to look it up for you.
Yeah. The
They're
other thing-
delighted.
And then once I've done that, done.
Yeah.
The other thing that you can do, which I think is another flag that helps in this situation, if there was an accident, again, like I said, in the haste of an accident, they're not worried about where your ID is. They're worried, are you okay? Can we save your life? Da, 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 da. If the plates on your car are the
Donate Life.
flashlight,
Sure.
right? They obviously can
I
see
should put
right
it on my
then and
bike
there.
because that's probably my best chance of dying. Is
Right,
getting hit on the
is
bike.
because you're on the bike. I agree. 9:18, hour 3. Drinking phrase is
Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, and I encourage you to all drink. At this time, let's turn things over to Katie June.
In this weekend sports, Kiss, the band, likes Tim Tebow, but guess who won't? Al. Yet another sports star hits the rehab circuit. We'll give you week 2 of the NFL Power Rankings, and the Phoenix Mercury might be back on track. What? In sports. So Kiss, the band, is big time into Tim Tebow. They sat down with Kathy Lee and Hoda, another couple of your favorite people, if I may or may not be.
Well, just because they drink.
Show, yeah.
Yeah.
They should have us on. Jesus.
And Kiss offers Tim to be the new quarterback of their Arena Football League team. And that's no joke.
Oh my
they
gosh.
they came to discuss their new book, Nothing to Lose, but talked about their AFL team and brought up an offer to Tim Tebow. The other the other team owner, Paul Stanley, also of the band Kiss,
Love him.
Yep.
said this isn't about
Alien.
Best looking one out of the 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, all I see is a picture of the two of those crazy towns sitting in black jackets and big giant hair.
yeah.
On no,
I'm
neither-
going to assume Paul
I
Stanley
think
and
neither are good
He was the
Gene
guitarist.
Simmons.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
Not the
Gene- I'm
Oscar-winning
sorry.
actress
and
Gene
Gene
Simmons.
Simmons. Yeah,
Dead. Still
and
dead.
they look the same on Kathy Lee. I love Gene Simmons, but they do look the same, and neither of them look attractive.
And the funny thing is,
Well, it's been a long
It doesn't
time.
matter. He was never
Hard
attractive.
road.
He was
Time.
never attractive.
oddly, one of the shows that I really enjoyed and I did watch and I
Oh.
DVR'd.
Simmons Family
Gem-
Jewels.
Family Jewels.
Family
Yeah.
Jewels.
I
Me
loved it because
too.
he thought he could do everything and he fucked up so much.
But he was
And
actually
his
a
wife-
good guy.
But he
and
was.
Sharon Tweed was great. And their kids.
I
love
liked
them.
all of them.
I
liked
could
the
not
whole
believe he
show.
married Sharon Tweed. I never saw the show.
Shannon. But
Shannon Tweed.
Same thing.
She called him out on shit.
So much.
And she is gorgeous.
I love that
beautiful.
show. I really did. The kids and everything. The son is hilarious.
Yeah, no, they're fun.
But no, fun show. Anyway,
That's
I'm sorry.
good. Yeah, it
Continue
was
on.
really fun.
Your Majesty.
Stanley. What's
And
Stanley?
thank you.
Say his
Paul,
name.
Paul Stanley.
Stanley.
Partially deaf, by the way. Did you realize that as a lead singer of a rock
You
band?
met him.
I can tell by the music.
Al could be. Oh.
Come on, it's easy.
Come on.
So the team that they that they have in the Arena Football League is the LA Kiss. To promoting their team, right? Very smart. And Stanley says it wasn't all about publicity. He would be great for the sport. He's a great citizen, a good role model. There are some athletes who are questionable. Certainly he isn't one of them.
Ben.
So this is an offer that we made, and it was not about getting press. After Kathy Lee said that she could never imagine Kiss wanting to be associated with Tebow, Simmons quickly responded by asking, why not? He says, Tim would be great for football. Better to have more Tim Tebow in football than guys who are abusing their dogs.
Yeah, but not the rapist.
Sit down,
Yeah.
Albert.
Oh, okay, did he say
Sit
murder?
down, he said abusing their dogs for murder.
Can we talk about Aaron Hernandez for a second?
Oh, okay. Oh,
So he was talking,
by the way,
specifically about
Michael Vick.
good old Michael
Right.
Vick.
Right, but
By
the
the way-
best part is, but he doesn't bring up the murderers, the child,
Oh, it
the
would've
wife
taken too
abusers.
long.
No,
It's
yeah.
only
Yes.
because it was a 7-minute interview.
Yeah.
You can't fill all that
Okay,
space.
but the worst crime in the
Like you
catalog.
do
Yeah.
in here.
Right.
right.
Now, oddly,
I always
Aaron
love that.
Hernandez,
That's the worst thing that ever happened.
Aaron Hernandez. You go down through the NFL fantasy draft and you're looking.
He's still in there?
He's still in there. I took a picture of it. I was like, my aching fat ass.
He is
He
not-
should not be in there.
No.
He's in jail.
Yeah, that's. But actually,
We're
he's
hopeful.
waiting
We're
for
hopeful.
those clown towns that don't know any better. Let's leave him in.
Asshats.
Yeah. So
I mean, really, I'm gonna. He's good.
So we know that some
I'd take him first just to piss y'all off.
Some athletes, if you will, are they battle, may or may not battle with substance abuse. So we know
May
Lamar
or may not.
Now
Your Majesty.
we I don't know if we talked about Lamar Odom does crack now
Now,
ish
A little bit.
And I gotta tell you,
But he
as
says
a,
no.
As a fan
He
of
says
the
no.
Kardashians, I'm
okay,
actually
I just had to make sure that is he somehow related to a Kardashian?
He's married to one of them.
married.
Chloe,
He's married
yeah?
to Chloe, and as a
The
fan of
fat one.
Well,
Oh
Whatever.
my God.
she's not the fat one, and as actually I'm a fan of the
Okay,
show.
by the way, she
I-
was.
Oh no!
But she's
they,
No,
slimmed.
she is the biggest of the three sisters.
She's
Well,
bigger.
but
She's
actually not.
bigger boned.
But they
She's bigger
bred.
bone.
She's
they
different
bred, like,
daddied.
Fuck
different
you.
mommied. Different mommied.
She may
you,
be
that's-
different
Mommy has
daddy.
Bigger.
But I will say,
something.
if you watch the show at all, ask Ernie. I'm sure she agrees.
I'm sure.
Aaron,
She
That
needs
was
a show
so
called
easy.
Ask Ernie.
That was so easy.
That was all. Ernie made it into the top 20
Ernie.
and ask Ernie. I love it.
that Chloe is really the fan favorite, and
She is.
I've watched the show for a long time. She's really the.
Yeah.
She's like, yes,
the most
she,
down to
she's maybe
earth.
the big. I don't think her ass is quite as big as Kim's, but they love Kim's ass. They don't love Chloe's for whatever reason. I do. I think Chloe is the most down to earth one. She's like the realest of the sisters. Like they are a family founded on fame, and Chloe happens to be, in my opinion, the coolest one of all. So it's really, and like having watched the show, she like legitimately loved this guy. She
Yeah, but
was
very
so,
unfortunate. She was with Lamar Odom. I mean, really.
It's really sad, but she really loved him, and
not
like,
because of his addiction that he refuses to say he has, but because he's Lamar Odom and he's really not that attractive.
See, and that aside though, but she thought he was, and she was really, really
fair.
super in love with him. It's
Fair.
very sad to me that like the one sister of the Kardashians that I could give a shit about is in this boat. So anyway,
That's sinking.
he said he was going to go into rehab, and then like 2 days later he got into a horror. He was arrested
Got into
for
a
a
horror.
DUI. But no, he probably that too. He was arrested for a DUI. So
But he also, his rehab, I think, was in a hotel room
Yeah,
with
no.
With
friends.
right,
He-
doing crack.
he
Right.
said, baby. He goes, baby, I'm coming
Baby,
home.
baby, baby,
come on,
baby,
baby. I'm
baby,
coming
baby.
home.
Baby.
Give me a week, baby. I'll get in rehab. And he was like, just leave me alone
Baby.
for 1 week and
Come
I'll
on,
get
baby.
clean. I've actually
Baby.
been through, not personally through rehab, but I've had family that's been through rehab, and I know it does
But
not
I'm
take
sure
a
you've
week.
used the line a week.
It
Haven't
does-
you? Haven't you, Katie?
By the way, he's using a line a week as well. Only
No,
others
no.
of them.
I understand that.
Your Majesty.
I just figured that knowing the Nantucket story, then Katie might have said, look, give me just a couple days. Seriously. And I will get on a bus and I'll go home.
I'm gonna get
shit, I
I'm
said
gonna get
that.
cleaned up. You know who else though? Another sad story hasn't been in.
As if that would have been sad enough.
Now it is, but
All right.
hasn't been in the news quite as much.
Welcome, Costa Rica.
Hello, Costa Rica.
I love when Costa Rica comes on board.
Your Majesty, welcome.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Katie.
Right when we're talking about drug abuse. Just kidding, Costa Rica. I've actually been there. It's a beautiful country. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm
South
just
America.
excited right here, Costa Rica, because I think Jurassic Park really
By the way,
exists.
In
So I want
Costa
to go to
Rica?
like is
It's in
Isla
Hawaii.
Nublar.
I flew over it.
I know, but in the books it takes place in Costa Rica off the coast.
Unintentional racism.
Yeah, a little bit.
Drugism.
You know, another really, really sad story.
Aw.
Another
Am I gonna
athlete, Oscar De La Hoya, has admitted himself into a treatment facility. Yeah.
By the
I mean,
way,
I don't know if you really actually care that much.
I
How
loved.
beautiful is he?
God,
Come
absolutely.
on.
Hey, Google
The
him
Are
former-
you kidding?
The
Stand
former,
by.
and he still is. Yeah,
He is.
good.
Doesn't
Really
look like Justine Bateman?
No,
Good.
actually,
I have been. I have been. Not that he
is
cares,
cute.
but Oscar
Really?
De La Hoya, I
But
have
look,
loved
good
since the
looking.
moment I saw.
well,
yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how old that picture is.
But
It
no,
don't matter.
I'd
this,
still
is,
fuck him.
this is actually a recent.
I'll look
photo.
at that picture while he fucks me. How's that sound?
Even though he looks like Justine
Wow.
Bateman.
No, he doesn't.
No, not at all.
As long as I'm looking at that picture, I don't really care.
I know, that's what I mean.
He
He
is.
could look like you.
He is.
Yeah.
He's
Your Majesty.
well.
That was kind
Had
of.
you not, had
Even
you
by my
not
standards.
added that?
That was kind of cunty.
So,
really,
Oscar-
Jan?
I had forgotten about the De La Hoya. I'll be
Well,
over
you
here
can't
for a
really
while.
forget about him.
This former boxer issued a statement on Tuesday saying that he voluntarily admitted himself to an unnamed facility. The move comes on the eve of the biggest fight of the year for his promotion company.
There's also that.
When Floyd Mayweather Jr. That's pretty
That's
gay.
nice, Fishnet.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says he's admitted that he's been an alcohol and drug user, and he's happy to be in treatment. That's kind of all he's saying. So
He's happy at day 1 that he's in
Well,
treatment.
right.
He's not going to be happy at day 7, at day 10, at day
it's
14.
very hard. So the
Yeah, that's true.
NFL, as we all well know, the football is well underway, and we're excited about it. And by we, I mean mostly probably Marnie.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
He
no.
Oh, no, this
Oh,
motherfucker. Are you kidding?
No.
Are you high?
Ding, 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 ding.
He
I'm
loves
like
it.
legitimately trying to become an NFL fan.
Hey,
so
Perkins.
the power rankings.
Make some magic.
Make some.
Listen,
Your
Careful,
Majesty.
careful.
ESPN.
Hey, I have a thing from Uber Cab that says that I can take one.
That's actually true. I
anytime
can
for
I can
free.
actually give you some credits.
Huh?
I went on the Dancing with the Bars champions.
Well,
I may or may not have some extra credits.
I
too.
by the way,
may or may not
the
be.
fact that you all were looking down while she had that face on is fantastic.
Sad pants, yeah.
Watch it back.
Okay.
She's like,
I felt
Yay.
it happening.
So listen,
love it.
ESPN does for me and you, and mostly me, because I need to know. I don't
Mostly
know.
her.
Yeah. They do a power rankings every week, right? So we get our NFL power rankings. So week 2, here is the
Thanks,
scoop.
Al.
What does an impressive home victory over the Packers get you? If you're Colin Kaepernick and the 49ers, the reward is a strong week 1 showing in the number 1 spot at ESPN.com's power ranking.
beating the Packers.
Well, but see, okay, so the Packers aren't even, well, they're in the top 10, but they're on the top 5.
which is fine, but not the Vikings because we're nowhere near the top 30, which is fine.
You are not.
I know.
So rank number 1, the
Admitting you
San
have a
Francisco 49ers. They're up 2 from last week at rank number 3. Rank number 2 is the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh.
The Seahawks defense held Cam Newton in check. He posted a career low of 163 yards in offense. So
The guy that beat Cam Newton. Google him.
the guy that beat Cam, I'm
was my
not
fault.
gonna Google right at the second, but I will.
No, you did last week. Cam Newton's hot. Everybody
Al, it
knows.
is not fair. You cannot yell from the kitchen.
Okay, wait. Number 3.
Your Majesty.
Number 3 up from last week is the Broncos. And number
Oh,
4, the
well,
Falcons. Number
come
5,
on.
the Patriots.
May I?
And you may.
Seriously, Peyton Manning throws for 7 touchdowns on Thursday night.
That's pretty serious.
My favorite thing ever was Keela from
Oh, Keela Calkins. Gotta love her.
totally
Love her.
All right, Cobalt, love her.
Hey, Keela.
She on Facebook put something.
Oh, because she
to the
just
other-
started a draft. Or she just
put
started fantasy football.
Fantasy football, and she puts something on there about, well, whoever sees me first, shoot me. And I'm paraphrasing, shoot me because I benched Peyton Manning.
Why would you ever do that?
Well, but
I don't even watch football, and I would never do
her
that.
Other quarterback was
But
so
not
I
Peyton
don't know.
I feel like Peyton Manning's kind of the
No. Like it depends. It depends on what. But the fact that she benched him and he threw for 7 touchdowns.
Pretty sad.
I mean, seriously, you're playing fantasy football.
I'm sure this means
God,
something
I
to
really want to
somebody.
play.
It's a
I
big
do,
deal.
but I'm not
sure it
playing.
is. I have no idea.
So number 5.
If you're playing fantasy Mexican, it's the same concept. Like you.
Fuck you, Al. Fuck you, Al. Your Majesty.
You're Majesto.
But I'm still winning, right?
Maybe.
Oh, he's got now we have a blender drink in the kitchen.
All right.
Well, I'll
Sorry,
just
dear.
give you the 2 other couple quickies. The Bears, they're at number 9, and I love the Bears.
The Bears.
Let's see. We've got the Vikings, number
At
21.
number 33.
I've heard of
number
them.
21.
Okay.
And the Cardinals coming in at number 25 out of 32. So
Okay.
thanks a lot. Okay, last sports story. The Phoenix Mercury is back on track. Way to get it, girls. We beat the Atlanta Dream on Sunday and the New York Liberty tonight. As a matter of fact, thank you.
How much longer do we have with this lesbian basketball team? of yours?
Listen, we are now in the playoffs.
Okay, but I mean, I don't know how much longer your segment's gonna last. Is what I'm wondering.
By the way, Katie June, I think you're doing very well.
Super gay.
No,
Thank
I agree.
you.
I agree. You are. I just didn't know.
A really gay guy over there. Super gay guy. Clayton McKee. I'm going to start referring to you as super gay guy Clayton McKee.
Oh, well.
Oh,
wow.
God damn.
Well,
They may or may not be delicious.
They're not ending. They're back on track. They've been playing their hearts out. They just clinched the playoffs, playoff berth on Sunday. But here's a really interesting article from the Arizona
mix it up.
AZ Central, so the Arizona Republic, that says, was drafting Brittany Griner the wrong choice for the Phoenix Mercury? And they basically talk about how she was a big time hotshot. Everyone was really excited. But Elena Deladon, who was the second overall draft pick behind Brittany Griner, is averaging 18.1 points. And Griner's only averaging 13.2. Now, I think you have to look at a long-term investment in a player. Elena Deladon may be better out of the gate. I think we're good with Griner.
She's Elena Della Ho.
She's hot, is what she is. So don't call her that.
What?
Thank you. But
We all have a better chance if she's a hoe.
yeah, well, likewise. But
I feel like Katie's gonna kick my ass.
she is so sexy though. We can't bag on her, except for that she's on our team.
You want to bag her?
But listen, Griner, the AZ Central, the Arizona Republic has been doubting whether or not Griner has been a good addition to our team, and I say yes.
Yeah.
I think you got to give her a little bit of time. The girl is really young, as is Elena Deladon, but she blossomed really quickly under her coaching. I think Griner is going to be an excellent asset to our team in the years to come.
Absolutely.
There you have it. And that's it in this week's
Sports.
I have an addendum to this week's
Jesus
sports.
Por favor,
Christ.
de nada una second.
French hum.
Very, very quickly,
yeah.
I just want to update people on what I'm masturbating to in the world
Wow.
of sports.
Oh, by the way, I appreciated those pictures you posted. Holy crap.
Is this a Cam
I like
Newton
how it
thing?
went from an oh no to a oh please do.
Oh.
Is this Cam Newton?
No.
It's
Wow.
I am not mad.
Well, by the way, so apparently we need to add a new word for Arizona porn.
What?
Al?
Or whatever's happening right now. I'm not sure.
Okay, so choice number 1, masturbation fantasy NFL number 1, and why you should. I do not understand people that don't watch NFL. We have Russell Wilson,
Oh, Seahawks.
quarterback for the
Yep.
Seahawks.
Who, by the way, do you know his backstory?
I don't give a shit.
I know you don't.
I don't
but
care.
for
If his story
anybody-
takes place on my
but
back,
for anybody
we are
that
good.
might- well, that would. Thank you, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty.
Thank you for someone picking up
Sir
on that
or
shit.
ma'am.
But anyway,
These
no,
are
his
lovely little colonics we're having here.
Oh no! By the way, trust. I know, but
Please go to the link and enjoy this man privately with a hand towel and a
not only is
bottle
he
of lotion.
beautiful, not
Oh,
only
a
beautiful,
married Christian
but
charitable.
I don't give a shit about any of that.
where are you going?
Talented as fuck.
Oh yeah.
and was in baseball, I believe.
Yes. He
Right?
could have gone pro baseball.
He was like, he's one of those fucking people that's like, look at how good I am in life.
I know.
I could be pro baseball or pro football.
if I wasn't
Really?
touching myself while looking at him, I'd hate him.
I know. Anyway, and I'm not, so I just hate him.
So far, this is my favorite picture you've posted of him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
When I saw that,
don't show that. Don't show that to me. I can't look. I need to be alone. Now, my other one, and this is a white
Google
boy.
this, people. Look at that. That's what you need.
Well,
and
yeah.
by the way,
you put
is
the link
that
up.
from what year? Because
I don't
Who cares?
No, because
Your Majesty.
just invade.
Cheers. No,
Isn't that good?
because he looks so young
Which
in
one?
that picture.
Yes,
all of
yes.
it.
All
all of the
encompassing,
above.
yes.
No, he looks so young, and you put that picture up there, and I went, I have no
Well,
idea.
he's only
who
a
the fuck
second-year
that is.
quarterback. What's he, like 23, 24?
No,
Katie,
that's my point.
Anything for you?
He
Anything
is-
at all?
Yeah,
he
no,
is
that he's a
older.
sexy daddy.
He's a sexy, yes.
Because he did
No,
the
and who
football
is that
thing.
again?
Go ahead and look it up. He
What's
is
his
older.
name again, Al? What's his name? Russell
Is this your like
Russell Wilson.
Wait, this is not your Jets guy. Who's
No,
the guy
no,
on
he
the
doesn't
Jets?
care about him anymore.
He's injured.
Well,
Look at who I'm in love
yeah,
with
Mark
now.
Sanchez is injured.
So Mark Sanchez
he's a
can fuck
pussy.
himself.
Say no to that.
Yeah, no, he's a hottie potato.
Even
he
you.
looks Hawaiian.
He liked cream
He
pies.
does. So no,
Cream
but
puff,
he
whatever
was
it is.
in, like baseball, this that,
He's
and then
hot.
he left. I believe, if I remember the story, he left sports, and then all of a sudden came back and went, yeah, I'd like to play for you." So last
I think
year,
when I was masturbating, I caught his birthday, and it was like,
all I'm telling you is that this may add to your surreal moment.
all right. So I'm just going to list
Your
the people that I'm in
Majesty.
love with.
Okay.
We're going to go to J.J. Watt of the Houston Texans last night. Now, the pictures that I have found on him online do not do him justice. Because last night on Monday night's football game that started off shitty and then got really fucking good. And they came
Which
back.
one?
The Monday night football game. The Houston
There were
Texans.
two of them.
There's two on Monday nights?
There were
What?
two of them.
Do you
Well,
not
I
pay
was
for
watching the
ABC?
Chargers
It
against
was
the Texans.
the Eagles. It was the Eagles and Washington,
and
and then
San Diego
San
and
Diego
Texas.
and the Texans.
J.J.
Yeah.
Watt,
Wait a minute.
Well
he
done.
doesn't look that good.
JJ Watt looks like
Just
a
'cause he
weird
said it.
Mormon.
I know. But did you see those
Because all
arms?
Mormons don't look weird.
And when
Most
he
of them
swatted
do.
down that
By the way, I
football,
don't mean to be rude to Mormons.
I
Oh, no. Really?
He actually looks like a weird
I just wanna tell you-
musclehead
He looks like the
steroid
dad. He
Mormon.
looks like the
Honest to
dad.
God, I have not-
Un-American Dad.
No. Keep going. Keep
I
going.
have not
Katie
seen a
Jim?
picture of him that looks as good as he did last night on TV. But on my big
no,
TV,
well, this one
that may or may
ain't
not.
it.
No.
No,
Ew.
he
He
looks
has
like...
got like
No.
pimples on his neck.
If
This
I
No.
kid.
may I
Stop, 'cause I have
just
some
may I
weird thing
just
on my neck.
may I just
No, I mean I might
it's my
die.
show. I can.
Okay.
He looks like the dad on The Incredibles, the animated
Yes.
Disney movie
Yes.
Incredibles.
That's true.
But
No,
I gotta
he's-
tell you, he was incredible last night on my big screen TV, and he wears his sleeves in a very
Yeah,
jaunty
that's
way
just
that says
creepy.
"fuck Al." Now my other crush, and his name is Brian Cushing.
Brian, I'm gonna.
He had a
Google.
big.
I think I went to junior high with him.
He had a big.
No, you didn't.
He had a big interception, and he tied the
had a
game.
He had a
What?
big. He had a big interception.
He had a big something.
What's
my
his
God.
name? Wait,
Brian
Brian
Cushing.
Cushing.
And the best
it.
thing to do as a football player, he did the interception last night that tied the game and got them into winning place.
I have the Houston Texans.
Oh my God! Look at him bloody. Anyways, so
No,
the best part was
I got
that
nothing for you on this.
For him.
Is he BRIAN?
IAN.
Or BRYAN?
What is that picture?
I don't know, but he is hot. Let me tell you, and I don't know if they're just not.
I just don't think he's hot.
No,
Al.
I'm with you, Katie. Not
Really?
with
Christ!
No,
Oh, cry on
no,
out loud! Christ
no.
on the cross! He's
well, yeah,
bleeding from the
He
head.
plays football, for the love of God. He doesn't make tea. So, anyways,
Ow,
then you have to come over and watch. No,
no,
I'm not.
Al.
That's the picture I was masturbating to. He is hot.
With
Anyways,
that long hair. I mean, listen.
I love
that's a
long
cute
hair.
picture, but I'm still no.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I can do some long hair on my new boyfriend, or he's actually my old boyfriend.
How long
What's
is this
his
gonna
face?
take?
Who is the new? What's his face on that one movie? The 50 Shades of Grey. Jack off.
What are
movie.
you doing?
I'm
What?
masturbating. The masturbation
Spank Bank.
movie. Come on,
don't
you
even
know who I'm
know.
talking about.
No.
That hottie patati
From what? What?
from Sons of Anarchy, and now he's the new Christian.
Oh, so okay. I watched from my movie thing. I'm watching this very sexy
We
movie.
have 20 minutes.
I got it. Okay.
Oh, very sexy movie. Now I gotta find out what I watched. God damn it. But he was in it. Oh, it's called Deadfall. And it wasn't that great. It was Eric Bana, Olivia Wilde, that kid.
Charlie
and-
Hunnam.
Oh, shit. And Sissy Spacek, Treat Williams, the girl from American Horror Story are all in it. I had seen a preview. I thought it looked pretty good. It wasn't that great. But let's say his name again.
Charlie Hunnam is so fucking
okay,
hot.
He shows up on screen, and I'm like, oh, he's cute. And then he got naked, and I'm like, okay, this guy's sexy. And then through the whole movie, I'm like, I don't really like this movie, but this guy is really fucking
so
sexy.
hot.
I wonder what he's going to do next. And then I realize he's the guy that they've been talking about for 50 Shades of Grey that everyone's like, he's not that sexy. I'm like, I just watched a bad movie, and the only thing I got out of it was like, this guy's hot.
So here's the thing: is that he is a sex on fire with that dirty long hair. Your football player, not.
But you didn't. You got to watch him play. Like he was sweaty.
I don't actually. He's disgusting.
Talking about nasty Texans boy?
Yeah, he's gross.
Yeah, he's not.
Not JJ or TT, whatever his name was. But the guy that did the interception. And seriously,
JJ, whatever.
He took off his helmet, and the white guy with the funny thing that he did with the sleeves was just kind of manly and hot, and he was big, and he swatted a ball down, which is all.
Cut your hair.
Talking about
cut
the
his. He needs to cut his
Texans
hair.
guy.
The Texans. No, his hair is cut. He's really clean cut now. That's an old picture. He's really clean cut. I'm serious. He took off his helmet because he knew. Have you ever seen Give Me the Money?
Is that him with Sanchez? Is that Sanchez in the middle?
That's Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez is hot.
He's shorter
But
too.
have you ever seen Give Me the Money? What's that movie called?
I don't care.
Show me the money.
I'm looking up your ex-boyfriend Sanchez now.
No, but Jerry Maguire, like you know that the minute you make a big play on a Monday night game, like your commercial endorsements start the next minute. Like he had a big moment on national television in a big game that was being watched. And he took off that helmet because he has seen Jerry Maguire and he was like, and I'm hot. And he did an unveiling of the helmet and knew that the cameras run him. He had just won the game on Monday Night Football. And he was like, and I need a commercial endorsement.
So you're giving this guy up?
I would not give that up.
Because you didn't watch the fucking TV last night. This guy was so beautiful. And he saved
That's
the game.
That's beautiful.
That's pretty fantastic.
I'm not going to argue too long about
That's
that.
pretty drastic fantastic.
Your match
Mark
is there.
Sanchez.
Yeah, come on.
But I
Absolutely.
have to tell you, last night, that guy knew what he was doing, and they were only doing 2 interviews, one with the big white guy and one with him for the interception, because they were like, you two won the game, and they did. It was fabulous. Football's back, bitches.
Before we go to Thoughtful Vulgarity,
And Aaron Hernandez, I'd fuck him. Oh, you wrote that. I'm sorry. I thought I was talking to somebody online.
Did I write that?
You
sure.
may have.
But did anybody else take the social attitude test and print off your results?
Oh, shit.
We'll do it next week. We'll do it next week.
Please
That's fine.
do, because I did that about 4 times, like went to take it, and then I wasn't able to.
Okay, we'll do that next week. It is 9:42. It is the show. Whew, wow, there's been a lot going on. I didn't think we were going to get this far, but Al made liquor. And now we go into this little segment.
And now, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
I took that goddamn test, and there was a couple questions I wanted for Thoughtful Vulgarity.
We're going to go over that next week. What I'll do is I'll post on the Facebook page the link to the social attitude test.
Aptitude.
It says social attitude
Oh, it
test.
was, yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought it was aptitude.
No, it's
That's why I'm like,
social attitude test. I'll post a link to that. Y'all can take it yourself and then compare results
fun. We
with
all
all
can
of
take
us
it.
next week. We can all do that. It was our Thoughtful Vulgarity segment. Al is going to pose a question to the cast of the show, and we'll see where we go with this. By the way, next week I want to use more of this.
Isn't it fucking awesome?
Yeah.
This is Katie June's root beer barrel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I want you to know it's healthy. It has skim milk in it.
The
It's
only person
fat-free.
that's
By the way,
not drinking it
I
and
feel
acting like
thinner.
an idiot is you. Because we're
I know.
like, yeah,
I
give us
kind of feel
more.
thinner
I
drinking
drank it
it.
in the kitchen.
So good.
I do. I feel thinner.
All right.
I feel drunker.
Let's go with our thoughtful ingenuity, or what are we calling it? Yeah.
What are we calling it?
Vulgarity. Fuck off.
Okay, here's a weird one, but we'll try it.
Okay.
Is it still important in the land of the Kardashians?
Oh Jesus.
Oh God.
Is there still something to be said for honor? Like to having a little bit of dignity? Because there's 2 more of those little fuckers coming up. with a different last name.
I was like, I don't know how to answer that for the
Oh, you mean like Northwest?
No. But there's more besides the trash that's already
Central
on TV.
Park?
There's 2 more coming up.
Yeah,
they have younger sisters.
Yeah, there's younger
Yeah,
ones
they're-
with
Or daughters,
that
brothers,
cunt
whatever.
as a mother that I don't like.
Chris.
Yeah,
Chris
the one that I
Kardashian?
turn up TV when
Kris
she comes
Jenner.
on. Yeah.
Kris Jenner. I'm sorry, Kris
Yeah.
Jenner.
Yep.
So like at some point, is
Microphone.
it important?
Find the mic. Find it.
Is it? Jesus.
Makes
Your
a difference.
Majesty.
Makes a difference, Your Majesty, on how this works.
Is it important? Like, is there any place left for honor in society?
Honor, integrity.
Honor, integrity, however you define honor.
Go ahead, please, Clayton.
No.
No.
You know,
I
we're good.
appreciate you. Please.
No, the first knee-jerk reaction I have of that is, yeah, but it doesn't sell ratings. It doesn't sell.
Right,
yeah.
The sad part
No.
is the integrity part of this whole thing, and I'm going to harken back. You may have a heart attack, Katie. Integrity, morals, any of that. I'm going to go
call
back
the restaurant.
to shows like the Andy Griffith Show that each show, though in a comical way in some cases, taught a lesson of honor and of integrity and of morals. That doesn't sell ratings anymore. All that is this crap, like the Kardashians, like you've got, or I even would equate Duck Dynasty. I don't watch it, but it's the highest fucking rated show on TV, and Honey Boo Boo. They want to watch that crap. And I say that crap. I still think it's
People
funny.
in Duck
Cosby
Dynasty
Show.
could be all about recycling. I've never seen it, so I don't know
No,
what
but
they're doing.
I go back with you, Clayton, to like the idea of the Cosby Show.
Which I
And
realize you
it
didn't
just
watch.
wasn't funny. I'm not.
You didn't
I'm
think it was
not,
funny.
I'm
Yes,
not saying
it
they
was.
didn't.
But
There wasn't
yes, it
redemption,
was.
but I didn't.
I think
never laughed.
obviously I think there's certainly
I
a
can't
place.
imagine.
I think there's a place for all of that.
Yeah.
For morality and honesty and what'd you call it? What's the word you
Integrity.
used? Integrity. Honor.
Honor.
I knew there was a vowel.
No.
There certainly is
Or a couple.
There certainly is a place for that, and I think that, and I share this with all of you. None of you would be here, and we wouldn't be doing this if none of us had that, because I think all of us are quality people, and most all of the people that we associate ourselves with are.
Yeah.
However, I think there are those. Are you kidding? If I could sit next to Kim Kardashian and I could give 2 shits about her. I couldn't
Or
give
we
her
might
goddamn.
have a lovely conversation. I don't know.
Right,
her.
right.
She
But
could
I-
sit down
but
next
what-
to me with me not
but
knowing
I'm
who she was, and I'd be like,
presents
oh.
herself.
But
what she
I'm
presents herself as.
anticipating that I'm not going to give
No.
2 shits about anything you've got to say, because all you're going to care about is, where you're going to dinner, what label you have, and da da da. Nothing real. I do, and
Yeah.
Substance.
I am not a label person. I mean, I like certain quality. I like certain quality things. Like there's a KitchenAid blender in there.
Chevrolet.
I like Cadillacs. I like Chevrolets. I like Lawn Boy lawnmowers. I like blah 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 blah. But
Dyson.
She is. Wait, actually, I'm not really under the Dyson.
No, I
I'm
thought
not-
you were.
No, sorry, I'm not really there.
I am.
No, it's a vacuum.
bad.
But
No,
still,
I don't have one,
it's-
but I really want one.
Yeah.
but still, I don't know that I don't feel that I would ever get anything out of her. I think Julia Roberts, that we go back to our conversation from earlier, she doesn't give a shit about that. I would probably have a much better conversation with her than I would.
But I think I'd be surprised.
Unless
if
she
you-
was like Matthew McConaughey and she
sources say
stinks.
she's just a
And
bit.
then, no.
Actually, sources say she's just a
then
bitch.
she'd fit right in.
But then again, wait, but that's like
No,
me
we're
saying something
bitchy.
about-
We're bitchy, but
But
maybe
that's,
not a bit.
that's like something like me saying something about Kim Kardashian. I know nothing about
I
her.
know.
Right, right,
I
right.
know
And,
little
and
about
if
her.
she sat down on a plane next to me, if I got bumped up to first class, or she was back in the cattle section where I sit, and I probably wouldn't recognize her if I doubt that.
I know I would.
She could
I
probably
would.
stand
I
right in
would.
front of me, and I wouldn't.
Sadly, I would.
I don't even know who you are. Can you imagine how I feel about someone I?
I know. I've already been Martin.
I don't like Will. Can you imagine feeling about his brother?
Yeah,
Good,
and he
really good.
likes you.
Yeah, I know. I've already been Marnie Reiner, so why
you
not?
date-
Oh, your
date
first name
Ernie.
is Marnie?
But you did. But he
Your
tried,
Majesty.
and
Yeah,
He didn't
but that's
really
what I'm
try.
saying. So, but it would be someone I would probably, without any introduction, and like we could probably have a conversation,
Sure,
and she would
sure.
probably be someone at the end. I'd be like, well, that's delightful. You know what I mean? But I don't think that.
and
I
we'd
don't
walk
think
away
if you,
going, "You're a cunt."
if you make a sex
No.
tape, I don't
Oh.
think that means you have to go kill yourself.
It doesn't, but it also doesn't mean you should be like a celebrity status.
Validated.
Hi, Pam
You should
and-
be validated for
And be
it.
called
on,
a
Pamela
businesswoman.
Anderson.
That's the part
Well,
that throws me.
you know,
Well, she
then
did
that
other
what.
things.
But I just throw that out as an example. But it is like, is there a place for someone with honor anymore or value to it?
I personally think yes, but if you're talking about TV solely, if you're talking about like looking at entertainment,
But we all pull role models from there.
no.
That's the problem.
Well, To a degree.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people, that's their children's role models.
A lot of people do. But the idea that if that's what you're talking about, that I can't answer. But as far as personally, absolutely. And I think without honor or the integrity, you're really not a human being. And I'm saying that only because I don't know how else you can present yourself.
Yeah.
Like you can't be, to me, you can't be anything else without that.
Right.
Yeah.
When Kelly and I were, so we're all at Disney this weekend, and we go to watch a show, Beauty and the Beast live show.
The live show, right.
Katie, don't tell the story about when you kicked the kid in the wheelchair to get in line.
Because I don't.
She adopted him.
No.
Which time,
she did that.
Marnie?
Totally. I know, right?
Time?
I know, but
Really?
I wasn't going to bring that up.
Totally an e-ticket.
Or an R ticket.
I'm with this fucker.
An R ticket, according to Al.
So we're watching the Beauty and the Beast live show, and I took Palmer a couple of times because I wanted her. We saw the Aladdin live show. Because I wanted her to see some live theater. And
Can I go with you guys next time? Because Palmer and I are going to hang out.
Well, here's the thing. So I thought it was going to be really fun.
By the way, not big, but only because I'm all
She was
about
actually she was so fun. But I thought this will be great. So we go to the live theater, and she can't get on board with it. It's
bored?
too much.
She was too meh.
She needs animation.
Yep.
She's only 2.
She's on overload.
But she crawls up on stage at one point when they're just doing the intro, and all the kids are sitting up front, and I'm kind of watching from behind going, please be a good girl. And she, of course, they're like, okay, everyone stay where you are. Don't climb on stage. And she does. And the little Belle character who's like warming up the crowd, says, oh, an aspiring actress. And I'm like, oh my God. And I run up there and I pull her up and I'm like, thanks so much. It's been great.
I leave.
leave.
Katie, I'm going to interject. Katie actually had taken Palmer and gone like that.
Right.
The aspiring
baby, get up there.
The aspiring actress is Katie June.
I'm not buying this shit for a second. She threw her kid up there.
And it's like,
oh, little Belle.
Sing out, Louise.
Yeah.
So,
or Your Majesty.
She really, honest to goodness, she didn't know what she was doing. She just was like, that. She really likes to be the center of attention. That's weird. What?
Nature, nurture.
Stage mother.
No, I was literally sitting in the wings. I was sitting up the side.
I had a dream.
A dream about you, baby.
Stop it. So she goes, and the little Belle character, again, this is before the show starts, she says, oh, we have an aspiring actress. And I'm like, oh my God, I was actually embarrassed because she was climbing. I was embarrassed. I grabbed her, I'm like, this isn't going to work. And we leave. I'm like, this isn't going to work. But, so then I'm saying to Kelly, I'm like,
that drink is really strong.
Oh, this gets better.
I say to Kelly, I'm like, this bitch is going to be an actress. Like, let's go find her an agent right now. But I'm like, she wants to get on stage. She's amazing. She's beautiful. She's everything I wanted to be. And so Kelly says, no, absolutely not. She's going to turn out to be Miley Cyrus or Dirty Horror. Hashtag the same thing. So we discussed what's the difference, and like how do you we were discussing like how do you encourage your child to be successful in show business without being a total slut skank face.
Well, and I
said I think it's the parents, and I think it's the way that you raise you, because if you look at Miley Cyrus's
Billy
parents,
Ray, come on,
the wife.
She's
mom,
a whore.
She has wanted to be famous. That mom has wanted to be famous. And Lindsay Lohan's mom wanted to be famous.
Oh, Dina and Michael, whatever.
So how do you? So I guess my jump off to that is like
Michael Lohan.
You want to raise?
You're trying to
you want a celebrity with integrity.
She said Mike, and I'm like, oh,
a celebrity with integrity, whatever. I would. But we talked all about raising our own little.
And then you watch, but then you watch the progression, and people like what's been considered dirty. And I'll start with like what I know. Like Donna Summer was banned everywhere. It was filthy dirty.
Was she
Madonna?
When
Madonna?
Oh,
in the 70s, like three of her biggest singles were banned on radio.
Give me one.
Love to Love You,
Love
Baby.
Love
Hot
You, Baby.
Stuff. Oh, yeah, banned on the radio.
Banned?
The BBC wouldn't play it. She had 22 orgasms.
Go back to what the album that you just now found, which is the Live and More concert, right? Right. But when she spends 37 minutes going, oh, Right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
So then you get to...
And then she didn't perform it for
but
years.
But the fact that she did that and I didn't even realize it means that it wasn't
that you're just not paying attention.
Right. No, because the
time
bar has
out.
been
Actually,
raised.
That's what I mean.
Well, that's a valid point.
I was going to say.
It's not like
she's not
shocking.
masturbating with a foam finger. She was just
Right,
gyrating.
right.
But Tim, I mean, you
That's a good point.
flash forward and you're not the Miley, but you have Madonna.
No,
you
I'm
have,
getting there. Let me finish.
my
So I'm
God.
talking about the natural progression.
Excuse
so you
me,
get her, and then
Your Majesty.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And then Donna goes on and puts out like her opus. She puts out her Bad Girls, and she gets like sex and drugs and rock and roll all into one album and puts an album. But we're moving on, and you get to like Bad Girls, where she gives you.
Sorry,
where
my voice.
Where she gives you everything about 1979 on
downloading
Sunset
that
Boulevard.
next.
Oh, it's
Right.
fantastic. And then you have Madonna. It's all about sex and anti-Catholicism and
Yes,
masturbation.
which I love.
But then,
masturbating with the cross.
you get a couple years later, and all of a sudden Madonna gives you like a prayer, and you have everything that has to do with 1989. You have being right. You're being raised Catholic. You have things about racism. You have things about religion, about idolatry, and she gives you the whole package. She reels it all in. And then she's self-aware. She knows she's dirty. She knows she's humping a stage. She's pushing AIDS awareness. She's pushing the envelope on like open sexuality and get over your inhibitions. So she's like, her public thing may be a little too much, but then what she's pushing on the side, and people say you can't criticize Madonna. No, because she does a lot of good for a lot of people.
Okay, but then what?
Then you get Miley Cyrus. She's masturbating with a finger. What's your
And
message?
too many- and quite
What's
frankly,
your opus?
What about Britney Spears? What
Too
about
many
Christina
teeth,
Aguilera?
really.
What about?
By the way, that's what I was
But
going to
that's
say
what they're
when
all
you were
missing.
but
All of them
when
are
you were
missing.
talking about like the Palmer going up to Little Bell or
Right,
whatever,
yeah,
right?
right.
So you have the Mickey Mouse Club, and you have.
And they're all
Christina
coming.
Aguilera, and you have Britney Spears,
and Justin
Timberlake, right? And so you have all of that. Well, it depends on it. I don't think it's about their parents, personally. I mean, that plays a part. But it's a matter of which way your career goes. Because Christina Aguilera is a whore, but she's a very talented whore. And
Britney Spears is a whore, but not so talented.
That's true.
Sorry, Kevin Dasso,
Yeah.
Your Majesty, but but I would agree with that. And the thing is that it's about how they presented themselves. You have Justin Timberlake. I'm going to be a boy band, and then I'm
Right.
going to fucking take over the world.
And
But
be the
then
most
think about it.
hot
Now here's
man alive.
Right.
But think about it this way: for him to grow up to be a man, he didn't have to
Yes.
take off all his clothes and
That's
masturbate
right.
on stage. He put on a suit and tie
and
did
a
put on
leotard.
more.
Oh, time out.
Suit and
And
tie.
Your Majesty, a leotard,
But-
and did put a
That's actually a really good
Dick in a
point.
box.
no.
Yes, that too.
And
Dick in the Box,
but
right.
Coming on down
right.
to Plastic Town. But that's
Right.
what I'm saying. Like, so the difference.
He's funny.
But he
Lickerville.
grows up, all you have to do is get a little bit classier and lose the boy band image, and the guy gets to be respected.
And the girl's a
to lose
whore.
the girl to lose
You're
Mickey
right.
Mouse. One's
Gotta
got to have
become
a
a whore.
python on a stage.
That's right.
And the other one's
You're
got to
right.
sing "Wanna Be Dirty,"
Or
gonna
be
get out, and he has to like
toxic or
wrestle in a
something.
dirty fucking
So
bathroom.
basically, Palmer is going to be
a whore.
No, but what I'm saying,
8-year-old forever.
just make sure that underneath, and even though Madonna's not the greatest singer, not
You're
the greatest
so
songwriter,
funny.
not
There's
the
a
greatest
message.
anything, but yes, and she kept true to her message. And the
Dakota Fanning.
Oh, I love her.
I just threw her
by
name
the
out there
way,
because she's.
but I love her.
Which is my argument.
Right, but there is quality work out there, and just make sure that when you're doing it, don't just be a whore, be for something besides rubbing on. But it's kind of ironic that she rubbed on Robin Thicke, who's kind of making that filthy video about blurred lines where he's like gyrating all over women, and so she gyrated on him. He's been a pig all summer, but she's better. Like,
In
I don't
answer
get
to
it.
the question, honesty and integrity wins.
Yeah.
Here
Thank you,
on
Miss
the show
America.
with Clayton McKee.
Whew.
Your Majesty.
We got here. We're at the end of it. It is the end of hour 3. Thank you for listening to us for the past 3 hours. If you're listening on podcast, thank you for downloading. You have made us the #1 downloaded show on the Q Talk America Radio Network. We thank you for that. Coming up next week, God knows what. Who cares? Just tune in. It's Tuesday. You got nothing else to do. And we're done by 10, so you got plenty of time to go out and drink afterwards. I'm here with Katie June, Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins. We are here every week, 7 to 10, Arizona time. We will leave you with this somewhat comforting thought because we do it every week. We will see you next Tuesday!
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.